just like you guys, they're named after their town. It's Dildo Brewing.
That's amazing.
Where?
Yeah.
Is it on, which?
It's in Nova Scotia.
It's in Nova Scotia.
Yeah.
I'm doing an international
be-
collab here.
yes.
Dildo Buttzville.
Yes.
There you go.
They found the face down in his waffles, maple syrup dripping from his fake roll. Who did he see when he heard who was there? Now it's
All right, everybody, welcome out to the Lager Room Guys Craft Beer Show. It is Tuesday, September the 5th, 2023. Jersey Johnny coming at you. With me, as always, is none other than Mr. Beer Samurai. Say hello, Mr. Samurai.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Is that hello in pizza eating speak?
Yeah, well, you know it's National Cheese Pizza Day.
It is National Cheese Pizza Day. Happy National Cheese Pizza Day, everyone. Hope you're celebrating with your very own slice of cheese pizza.
Don't take mine.
Don't take Dave's. Don't take Dave's. Or as Macaulay Culkin said, a whole cheese pizza just for me.
Just for me.
Just for me. There you go.
I'm actually, I get half of it.
Yeah, this is true. Yeah. So if you celebrate, happy National Cheese Pizza Day. So there you go.
For those who celebrate.
For those who celebrate, exactly. So how are you on this fine day?
I've not pizza.
Are you? I felt. You know what? I felt a little bohemian earlier.
Feel a bohemian?
I did.
Okay.
I did. So I rode my bicycle for a while.
I'm not going to go to the next song that follows that because they're mentioned. They are mentioned in any rate.
You're not in love with your car, is that what you're saying?
Oh, I'm in love. I don't have a car anymore.
Well, you were in love with that car. I mean, seriously.
No, not the last one. I hated the last one. Just drove me nuts.
If you haven't figured it out, folks, it's Freddie Mercury's birthday. So
yes,
happy birthday, Freddie.
This is for Peanuts fans
and Queen fans.
And Queen fans, this is a mashup with Freddie as Schroeder at the piano.
There you go.
I was gonna try to. I already have a mustache, so a fake mustache really wouldn't have worked.
It wouldn't have. But you put a mustache over another mustache. It's kind of silly.
Just wouldn't have worked.
Exactly.
I could have wear like that red leather jacket with all the zippers on it.
Right. That would have been fine.
Except
and it's also 95 degrees, so it might have been a little hot for that particular garment today.
Yeah. And I just really can't get away with like the white tank top like he did.
It's you know what? He pulled it off a lot better than you could right now.
Yeah, I'm not going to do that. Nobody needs to see that.
No, that's true.
I've never worn well, I'm not even going to say what we call them in Jersey.
No, you don't want to say that. An A shirt, I think it's called.
No, it's the WB.
Well, I know what it is, but it's an A shirt is the proper terminology for that particular garment.
Okay. And the A standing for or just it's an A shirt.
It's an A shirt. It's just that's.
Oh, I thought you were just trying to.
No, I wasn't using like that as an acronym or like a clever way to say what I was trying to say. No. It's actually called an A shirt.
I thought they were called tank tops.
Well, it's a tank top if it's the outer garment. The undergarment is an A shirt. I didn't.
Do you think Fonzie wore them?
I do not know. No, Fonzie wore white. Hey, I see. No, he wore plain white tees.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, he did.
I need a beer to wash this.
I need a beer to wash this conversation down. So let's bring the guests. Let's bring the guests in, ladies and gentlemen.
What style do you think I should drink with this?
I think a blonde ale would probably go very well with that.
I think you're right.
So let's bring the guests on while you.
Well, I'll pull my beer.
While you pull your beer out, I'm going to bring the guests on. Please welcome to the show today, Erin and Dave Andersen from Buttzville Brewing. How are you two?
Hello.
Hey.
Doing all right.
Hey guys, how you doing?
Cheers.
Doing okay.
All right. While Dave's pouring his beer, you're already drinking. What are you guys drinking?
So we are drinking our second anniversary Lap 2. It's a New England IPA that we conditioned over coconut and a little bit of lactose to give it that little milky flavor.
Hey, John, what's my favorite adjunct?
Oh, lactose, of course.
No, that's usually my least favorite. But
Coconut. Coconut is his favorite adjunct. What's mine, Dave?
Maple.
That would be maple. That's cool.
Nice.
So next year you need to age your
Maple
your anniversary beer
IPA. There you go.
or age it in maple barrels.
There you go. A maple barrel aged.
I don't know if that would work. You
No,
have to be
exactly.
New England IPA.
Mm.
You have to be very specific with the hops you use for that.
Exactly. That would be very specific. You're absolutely right.
Yes.
So, Dave, what is it you're drinking?
Well, only one of them said what they're drinking. Erin, are you drinking something?
We're sharing a crowler right now.
Ah, there you go. So
We do have an individual 4-pack of different stuff, but we haven't gotten there yet.
There you go. So they're in for the night.
Yeah. Well, I'm drinking a rather tasty blonde. Rather tasty blonde ale. Stop.
What's it called?
It's called blonde ale. No, it's
It's at the bottom. It's at the bottom.
It's all the way at the bottom. It's
all the way at the bottom.
You got to do something with that text. You can barely read the text down there.
Well, that's because your eyes are too old, Dave. That's why.
Sir.
Oh, hold on. Let me do this.
Put the cheaters on so you can actually.
There we
read
go.
it.
I need light too. Norwegian sprinkler. It's on the screen. I know that, but I'm just making a show of reading the can.
Sprinkler.
I like the graphic of the guy with the Viking helmet there.
Yeah. So
Okay.
that is the Norwegian Sprinter. So that's supposed to
Sprinter. Oh no! I actually did type sprinter, not sprinkler, and
I read.
that was an autocorrect thing.
That's
I
awesome.
gotta love autocorrect.
I know. I'm like,
Oh my God.
It's funny because I read on the screen it said sprinkler, and I'm sitting here going, I can barely read that. Maybe he's right. It
Because
says
I type
sprinkler.
it. I have a sheet over here that has like a list for the show, like points to make on the show and everything else. So the beers are over here. I typed in sprinter, and it changes. I'm
autocorrect.
looking at it right here. I typed in sprinter. It changed one of them to sprinkler, and one of them left sprinter.
You know what?
Nice.
If I dry hop that beer, I'll just call it the Norwegian Sprinkler.
There you
go.
should. There you go. That's great. Gotta love autocorrect. I got.
What you need is that character doing this.
For that label.
Yeah.
Yes.
Gotta
That
love it.
Appropriate.
I do that at
It's-
weddings.
There you go.
Yeah, for those of you who are just listening to the show, I actually performed the sprinkler poorly. enough that they understood what I was doing.
What, the dance move? Is that what it was?
Yeah. You were too busy
I was over
futzing
here.
with something over there.
I
Were
was,
you taking your
I
obligatory
was
picture?
taking my obligatory picture for Untapped, of
That's what he was
course, right? So yes, I'm drinking the same, folks. The Norwegian Sprinter, right there. There we go.
Nice.
Okay, but that's funny. Now you have to brew a Norwegian Sprinkler now.
I think
Because autocorrect told you so. That's why.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you know what? That's the first collab that we'll do.
There you go.
Ooh,
go.
I like it.
The
I
coastal,
like
the
it.
coastal Buttzville collab will be Norwegian Sprinkler.
I love
Sprinkler.
Sprinkler?
Sprinkler.
You left the L. Well, you just unautocorrected yourself.
Gotta love it. So, cheers.
cheers.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers. Hey, welcome to the show, guys.
Thanks.
Thank
We're
you.
happy to be here.
Yes.
I do
What
like
else?
this. It's you
That's
don't
nice.
always get
That's nice.
blonde with that
Very
much
nice.
flavor to it. That's I like that a lot.
Yeah, I really love that blonde. That blonde really was just a fun, like, kind of. It was a rush beer. Like, it was literally like a week and a half before we were opening, and I was like, I need more beer, and I was talking with another brewery owner, and they were like, hey, you should use Kvik yeast in something, and I'm like,
Okay.
where do I get that from? And so he's like, well, I got a block of it you can borrow. So I was like, I just had some grain bags laying around left over from the other brews, and I was like, right there, I can make a blonde out of this with some hops, and let's make it work. And it's my number one selling beer, which is hilarious
That's
because
great. That's great.
it was the most last minute beer I ever come up with. Like,
That's
that was
Sometimes that's the way it works.
Sometimes that's the way it works. Not that I don't even know if you know the song. You probably know the song because there's actually been about 37 million different covers of it. But you ever hear the song "What You Won't Do for Love"?
yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? So no, that's not that one. It's a Bobby Caldwell song. He originally wrote back in the late 70s, right? It was I think it was his first album or second album, and his producer told him he needed one more track to fill out the album. So he literally locked himself in a room for like a half an hour and wrote the damn song. And they threw it down. They recorded it in an hour, and that filled out the album. It's his #1 selling song of all time. And there's been, like I said, 45,000 covers of it.
Yep. Yep.
That's awesome.
So yeah, same kind of deal. But yeah, so what are the hops you used in Norwegian Sprinter?
So just Citra.
What's that?
Just Citra. Little bit
Citra.
Yep.
I thought I got you.
Little bit in the boil and a little bit of finishing, but that's it.
So the Norwegian part of it comes from the Quebec yeast.
Yep.
Gotcha.
Well,
All right.
so the whole story behind the name is it started out as it's a Quebec beer, so it's got to be fast. So we're like, how can we make this work with a name? Dave ran track over at Warren Hills High School. Go Blue Streaks!
There you go.
Yeah, it's on the can.
The Norwegian Sprinter has a blue
has a
streak
little
on
lightning bolt for the blue streaks on it.
There we go. I see that. Yeah.
Very nice. Just a couple years ago, right there.
Just a couple.
Oh yeah.
Like last week, right? Yeah.
But Dave's dad is from Norway, so he's
Oh wow, awesome.
Grimstad.
Well, I figured that with the E-N at the end of Anderson.
Yeah, I'm
so
50% Norwegian.
right.
That'll do it.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I love the fact that you threw the beer together just to you needed one more beer to fill out the tap list, and boom, it's your bestseller. I love it. It's fantastic too. Seriously, it's
really flavorful.
very
I love the way the grains.
See.
Wow.
And see, if autocorrect had just seen the label, they would realize those are people sprinting, not water sprinkling. So there you go. So we'll have to
you can have them running through sprinklers next time.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Well, that'll be the label for the collab. There you go.
go.
They'll be running through
sprinklers.
like a bunch of sprinklers.
That would be a fun beer release video of you, all of us
Running through sprinklers.
running through sprinklers. Yeah, absolutely.
There you go.
Yeah, now.
That's awesome. All right, so let's kick off. Not that we have to kick off 12 minutes into the show already, but let's kick off the questions. The one we always ask everybody.
Well, you always ask everybody. I never asked this question.
We collectively as a podcast.
Oh,
the royal we, right?
Royal. Yeah, we're royals.
Exactly. What's the first craft beer you can ever remember having?
So definitely, I think Sierra Nevada's Pale Ale, old school, just made me absolutely fall in love with craft beer, and it was probably one of my first ones. Although Wells Banana Bread Ale, which now looking back, not so much a fan, but when I was younger, I thought it was pretty good. But yeah, Sierra Nevada, it's still to this day such a good go-to, and
oh hell yeah, absolutely.
I love West Coast beers and stuff like that. So very old school and just very nostalgic when I drink it for sure.
Yep, absolutely. Oh, it's such a great beer, it really is.
But banana breads, that's a classic as well.
Oh, it is. It is.
Very classic beer. I haven't had it in years, so I don't know how I like it anymore.
Yep.
But last time I had it, it was a little too sweet for my liking. But
Did you ever do a black and tan with Wells Banana Bread and Young's Double Chocolate Stout?
No, but that sounds.
That's the way you do it.
It's a chocolate covered banana.
yeah,
Yeah.
no, we've done the chocolate,
Black and reds.
Yeah, the black and reds with
Sure.
the from Bras Lambic.
Okay.
That's always good too.
Mm-hmm.
Erin, yours?
Yeah, so the two earliest ones that when you asked that, I was like, oh geez, I don't know. I think would be the Wells Banana Bread. We had family over and we were drinking that with family, and they were like, you should try more different types of beer. So that one, but also Purple Haze.
Mm-hmm.
Abita, yeah.
Yeah, that was an early one that I really liked a lot.
Our first was stocked.
It's still I think it's still a really good beer.
It is.
Again, it's a classic.
Mhm.
It's a great gateway too.
It is.
It really is.
Absolutely. And it has been a gateway for many, many people, because that was a beer that you back in the day, like years ago, a lot of bars that, carried some craft, but not, like big, long lists of like really small batch local stuff, hyper local stuff. They almost always had Purple Haze on tap.
I feel like it was Purple Haze and then Magic Cat's 9. Like I feel like those two just went hand in hand. Like, that was a good gateway because people started being like, oh, fruit and beer. Okay, this works. This tastes really good. And then it kind of expands your palate and things like that.
Yeah, and then you bring them to Fat Tire, and that was like the next step.
Exactly. Yep. Fat Tire. Exactly.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Do you remember the first craft brewery you ever visited?
So
Oh,
I think Mansfield.
I think it was
I think
Manskirt.
I think Manskirt in
Hackettstown.
Hackettstown.
Really?
Yeah,
Really?
definitely. Shout out to Joe Fisher. Makes amazing beer.
No,
All right.
you know what? It might have been one of the PA breweries though, because you were in Lehigh Valley Homebrewers before Joe opened.
I mean, it might have been Fakeways.
I think for me it might have been Hijinks in Allentown.
Oh yes,
Mm.
Fakeways or Hijinks in
Fakeways or
Allentown.
Hijinks in Allentown, but Jersey wise was
Manskirt.
Manskirt.
Hijinks / Fegley's in PA,
Mhm.
Yep.
and good old Joe in Hackettstown.
Yeah.
We've had Joe on the show.
Yeah, Joe's been on.
We love him. He's
Love
awesome.
him.
Oh yeah.
Oh, he's the best.
I just borrowed his mash hoe because mine snapped off in the middle of my brew day today. So
Really?
yeah, Joe came to the rescue for me today.
Oh, that's great. You gotta love when that happens.
There's one time I went to the brewery and Joe was actually wearing jeans.
It's weird to see him in pants, right?
And did you freak out and were you scared?
No, because I asked him. I said, "No. Actually, there's a good reason he's wearing jeans." He goes, "Well, we're bottling something, but we're bottling it right from the bottom of the bright. So I'm going to be doing a lot of bending over, and I really don't want to scare my staff away."
I've seen him in jeans a couple times, and the first time I saw him in jeans, right, I actually walked up to him and says, "Hi, excuse me, is Joe here?"
Oh, nice.
So, but yeah, he after he gave me the eye roll, the good old eye roll,
Yeah.
he says, "You love my legs that much?" He goes, "Yes." He said, "Of course, who doesn't, Joe? Seriously."
He'll hurt himself. One of these days, he's going to hurt himself with that eye roll. It's a good eye roll.
There you go. So how did you guys get started in brewing?
So really, the people we were talking about, it was unfortunate circumstances. My cousins had to come up. It was my grandfather's funeral. But they came up and they stayed with us for about 5 days. They were huge craft beer drinkers. We were wine tasters, like very big wine tasters. Even sort of like in that I was going to think about kind of making wine sort of thing. But we got introduced to craft beer that like I said, Wells, Sierra, and all that kind of stuff came up. And we were like, what the heck? This is just like wine, if not now better than wine. Like, I love this. And my cousin's husband was like, oh, he's like, I'm thinking about brewing, home brewing and stuff like that. And so he took it on and he won a couple awards down in North Carolina and things like that. And I was like, I should do it. Maybe not. I was teetering on it. I used to have a lot of different hobbies. And so it was one of those things I'm like, I'll probably do it. And I'll, basically throw it out or whatever. And then, Erin can, take it from here on that.
Oh yeah, he did a lot of different hobbies. I got him a homebrew kit for Christmas, thinking that he was just going to chuck it in a corner in the basement, and he didn't. And here we are.
Which homebrew kit?
I got him one from I believe it was Midwest Brewing Supplies, and then I got him a gift card to Keystone Homebrew, which at the time was over in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, but is now in Montgomeryville. And so he kind of he brewed the first batch. I was expecting it to be super gross. First batch.
There's faith in you.
Yeah.
The box was, the recipe kit was Liberty Cream Ale,
Yeah.
and there was barely any flaked corn in it. But I was a new brewer, and I just finished reading the Homebrew Bible from Charlie Papazian. Amazing book.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing book.
Relax and have a homebrew.
Oh, yeah. I relaxed and had many homebrews reading tons of those books.
Yeah.
That's great.
I asked the question because we kind of keep track of how many times Mr. Beer has popped up on the show.
So I had a Mr. Beer. I had a Mr. Beer in my hand during a Dirty Santa, and it got taken away from me.
Oh,
that was like a year before she got me the brewing kit.
There you go.
She knew how hurt you were that you lost it in the Secret Santa.
There you go.
Well, I'm definitely happy I got this kit instead of the Mr. Beer kit. So
there you go. Well, yeah, with that kit, definitely. I mean, Mr. Beer has sparked many a brewer.
Yeah, I was going to say
that
you'd
kit
be
is definitely
surprised.
better. So.
Yes.
You'd be surprised how many.
Oh yeah. So how long? So when was that? How long ago was that?
I think that was 2013 or 14.
2000.
Like 10 years ago ish, something like that.
That was 2012 Christmas, and then 2013 I joined the homebrew club.
Yeah.
So like 10 years ago. Yeah. There you
Yeah.
go. 10 plus. And how long after you started, homebrewing did you decide, hey, you know what? I need to do this for a living?
Yeah. So, I mean, the Lehigh Valley Homebrewers was such a great incubator. I think I was number 15. I think they're now up to 18 or 19.
Oh, wow.
Brewers that come out of there.
Great. Yeah.
There are a couple brewers. One of them was an Nkazi Award winner, for 2 years in a row.
Nice.
So I was surrounded by a lot of people who, I walked up with my first homebrew, and he was like, "I can drink this beer. It's very crisp and light. It definitely needs work, but you are well on your way to making a beer." And so, got into it, kept going to festivals, kept going all these different things, and then all of a sudden they came up. And they were like, the Brewers of Pennsylvania are holding these seminars out in State College, and another year was out in Pittsburgh. And it's basically, opening a brewery, or, you can go out and you can meet and go to this professional seminar. And so it was probably 4 or 5 years into it that I drove all the way out to State College and came back in the same day.
And was like, we're doing this.
And was just I really want to do this.
I was like, no.
Yeah, I was going to say, how long did it take to convince Erin?
Long time. And then
you have to do a PowerPoint presentation and everything with numbers.
All right, hold on, Erin. Are you convinced yet? Just making sure.
Better question.
Making sure.
No, it's fun. It's fun. This is a great industry, and we're surrounded by just awesome, fellow breweries. So I think this is just a really good place to be.
Yeah, and but the thing that really set me was once I came back from the seminar, and then who was the brewer at the time over at Two Rivers, Josh Bushy, amazing friend of mine. He basically was like, "Look, I have a policy, open brew house. You can come in whenever you want." And so I brewed about 7 different beers with him on his 7-barrel industrial system, full manifold, everything. Wow. I got to really learn the experience of, okay, home brewing versus what professional brewing looks like. And it's 80% janitorial work. That's a big that joke.
Just a bit.
We're glorified janitors for a living, but I love it and I would never give it up. But yeah, I mean, that's really what threw me over when I came home from doing that. And Erin was like, "Man, you really love this. I mean, this is truly something that you just want to do this." And so I was 19 years in IT, and I actually just went full time just this past August.
Congratulations.
Yeah, I'm very, very.
More importantly, how many of those burgers did you eat while you were at Two Rivers?
Oh, how many
burgers.
Peanut butter bacon burgers? Oh God.
Uh-huh. That is such a good burger.
Yes.
I can't even count how many, but that was between that and the quesadilla, which I used to get the pork wings meat with the sauce on it.
Ooh, maybe next time I go.
Well, I don't know if you noticed the first glass I was drinking out of.
I love it.
Two Rivers.
Love it.
There
We
we
were
go.
just there. We were just there with friends the other night. The other thing you can't forget to get there is their jalapeno hush puppies.
And
they're good. They're
and
good.
the duck
They're
top fries.
Yeah, good.
Yes, the fries. Oh God, those fries. Those fries.
Good.
Mm-hmm.
That was supposed to start as a coffee shop.
Yeah.
You were supposed to be a coffee shop and brewery. Drop the coffee shop, then turn it into the restaurant, and everyone's glad he did.
Yes.
Oh,
It's so glad.
Yeah, absolutely.
Fantastic.
Dave, I saw you pour your second beer there.
Mm-hmm.
No,
As did I.
Other Dave.
Other Dave.
No.
Too many.
No, I was actually talking to you, but go ahead.
The funny thing is, it's quite often there's more than one John on the show.
Yeah,
This is only the second time there's two Davids on the show.
Second,
Really?
Maybe third, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. All right, so it'll be Samurai. I will say Samurai.
Yeah, you can say Samurai.
Yeah, there you go. So, Samurai. What was the second beer you poured?
I'm drinking something I don't have. Buns of Steel.
There you go. It's funny. I'm drinking the same beer. Look at that.
I used to be a valet parker back when I was in my 20s, and that may have been true then. But
and where was that?
That was in Neptune at the Polo Club.
Yeah, so
which is gone now.
Which is gone, right?
Long gone.
Yeah, and then also.
No, I only did that one night at Bar Anticipation, John, right up the road from you. And I actually was, yeah, I was only valeting there once, and I went there as the manager.
Well,
once.
technically, where the other club was, that's right, kind of not too far away from me too. But that's
no, not at all.
No, it's right over the bridge.
That's a long time ago.
Oh,
So so Buttzville Steel. This is the oatmeal stout.
Right. This is I just made sure really quick before I actually put the crawl up that it actually left the word stout in there, or Buns of Steel, like Buns of STEAL, like it didn't spell it wrong.
Or it would have been funny if it corrected to Bums of Steel.
Bums of Steel. Right.
That would have been even funnier.
That brings up a visual too.
Well,
This is, it's funny because I was pouring this. It's like, this has got like that ruby color that Guinness has that most people don't realize. It's a deep, deep garnet. And you've got a garnet color to this as well. So that was a surprise coming out of the can. I like this. It's got a nice smooth feel to it, as an oatmeal stout should.
Oh, that's very nice. Very tasty.
Mm.
Oh,
And the roasts are the star in this.
Nice and roasty. Yeah, absolutely.
thank you.
So, very good.
Every time somebody comes in the brewery and they ask me what's your favorite beer, I think that's my favorite. It's a brewery.
Yeah.
It's my favorite. It's I'm very classic style in my brewing, and the oatmeal style is just it's such a good classic style. It's just it's light, and you can prove people that dark beers doesn't mean heavy.
Right.
Oh, of course not.
Like it really just speaks to me, and I just love the way it pours. And honestly, what was the name of is it Barney Flats? That's like one of my favorite.
Yeah, I like that
beers.
beer too.
Yeah, that's like what kind of inspired that for me.
Gotcha.
The interesting thing though is a lot of people would still consider this beer heavy because they consider flavorful as heavy, rather than pay attention to truly the mouthfeel.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of people who say this is heavy, because I still know people that think Guinness is heavy, and Guinness in Ireland, and I just got back from Ireland a few weeks ago, is actually really, really filling, extremely filling. It's not heavy in mouthfeel, but it's really filling. Unlike here, where I could probably drink as many of them in a day as I drank in a week in Ireland.
Right.
So,
by the way, to Dave's point before, when he mentioned Barney Flats, Balhornan. There you go. So
Balhornan, there you go.
Do you ever have the wild turkey barrel aged Barney Flats?
No, but that sounds amazing.
Please tell me where I can get that.
It's really good. It's really tasty.
I don't know that they we don't get a lot from them anymore.
We used to get a lot more Anderson Valley years
Mm-hmm.
ago. We don't really get a whole hell of a lot anymore.
There was that one sour, the watermelon salted watermelon sour.
Salted watermelon sour.
Yes.
God, that was so good.
That one.
Yeah.
That was one of her favorites.
Yeah.
You're
But
right.
you're right,
Oh,
it's
Blood
not
Orange.
around.
It was Blood Orange Ghost.
Yeah.
That was like
there's a bit
Blood
of
Orange
Blood
Goes.
Orange
It was
too, yeah.
Blood Orange Goes. It was good too. Yeah.
But you're right. Anderson Valley hasn't been around. That's funny you guys mentioned. I haven't even thought about that.
They were distributed for a while by after originally they were distributed by a liquor distributor. They were distributed by who's the Allied Liquor Distributors. Was distributed in Anderson Valley, and then they kind of got in bed with Serene. I believe it was Serene. I'm pretty sure it was Serene. And I've been out of touch with the guys from Serene for a while. That was in a former life. But which we call it. I can only assume that there's still, they were look, they were distributing before the pandemic with Serene, like right before the pandemic. I know that with Serene. Everybody and their mother in different states got into New Jersey. I can't imagine Anderson Valley got out of New Jersey. So so I would imagine that they're still sending beer, but it's probably a limited basis.
Yeah.
Probably a lot. There's probably so much in their portfolio. Not a lot's coming in. They're not taking a lot in. So it is what it is. But
Dave's drinking something brown now.
yes, what is Dave drinking?
So I am drinking our version of Brew Jersey.
Oh, nice.
Still, and we decided that we're going to go into American Amber. It's another style that just doesn't get brewed enough, doesn't get much appreciation.
Mm-hmm.
I think one of the things that really got me into Ambers when I was younger was River Horse's American Amber. It was really good. Both of us used to drink that a lot.
That was a go-to.
And you just don't see Ambers around much. So I was like, you know what? It's a perfect opportunity to brew something a little bit different and showcase a beer that maybe people aren't used to drinking. And so I went with American Amber, and it has a little bit of Citra hops in it, but the malt is definitely a little bit more of the show on that. But
Sure.
I'm real happy with it, and it dialed in at 5%, so perfect for an amber.
And I
I got off ambers a little bit because we started in this country started to overhop them.
Yes.
And you lose the character.
Yes.
Oh, absolutely.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I agree with Dave. I agree with Samurai. There you go. But yeah, the amber ales were getting a little too hoppy.
Oh yeah.
Totally
For
agree.
the style. So I see an amber lager, I'm grabbing it. Done.
Yes.
Right?
yeah.
But an amber ale, I do a little research on it before I'll grab it. But I'm
Yeah.
a big fan of ambers. Look, anything malty. I'm don't get me wrong. I love hops. But anything malt is where it's at for me. That's lagers, English styles, German styles,
That's
Czech styles. Yeah.
Yep. I was gonna say that's you to a
I
T.
prefer.
Yep.
But this amber, because it's so balanced, it's not hop. I would not call this hop forward. I wouldn't call it malt forward either. I think that it's very very balanced. And that's why this is probably my favorite that we have on tap at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
But I also really like, besides the Buns of Steel, I really like our Butts Not to Like brown ale. That
Butts
one
not to like, yes.
Yeah, Butts, because
I can think a lot of them.
What to like about it.
Butts not to like. Now, but if it's Butts not to like,
Yeah.
Like, which butts don't you like?
Which butts don't you like? No.
We were going to make the top three favorite butts.
But
that's going to get us a lot of trouble.
Probably not a good idea.
Yeah, no.
Cannot lie.
Sorry.
All right, so I want to pause from this for a second. We'll get back to this conversation because I do have a couple of questions on it. But I got to ask you now, why such a cheeky name?
So we live in Buttzville. Buttzville is a real place. It's in New Jersey.
I forgot something.
It's a community inside another.
Yes.
It's a village.
Inside another township. Right.
Yes,
Yeah,
it used to have its own post office, so it used to have its own zip code, and it was like a real town. But because we're so tiny here, our post office got taken away. So
Don't you hate when that happens,
right?
You would think everyone would want that cancellation.
I want to live in Buttzville, New Jersey. I mean,
that's what we said, and so that's why we're here. But so right in front of our house is a sign for Buttzville. We live on a pretty main road, but there's a sign for Buttzville right outside our door. And so a couple summers when we first moved in, or
while I was cutting the grass.
Yeah, Dave would be cutting the grass. I'd be gardening out front, and someone would pull over to the side of the road and pull down their pants and moon the camera and take a picture of them mooning the camera in front of the Buttzville sign.
That's awesome.
While I was like 50 feet from them. So I just like sit there and like,
well, butts not to like.
Right.
Butts not to like, right? Yeah.
Exactly.
There was plenty of butts not to like during those times,
Yes,
right?
Exactly. So after, and that didn't just happen once. That like happened like a lot over the course of the years, and we've lived here a long time. But I eventually was like, if we ever own a business, we have to call it Buttzville.
Absolutely.
We'll sell so many T-shirts that way. And so here we are.
By the way, just to mention, when I was up there several weeks ago, yes. I totally meant to buy a T-shirt from you. Completely forgot when we walked out. We were halfway back to going to Chilton Mill. I'm like, son of a bitch! I forgot. I got to get back up there anyway. I'll be up there.
There is a brewery in Canada though that can one up you on that kind of marketing.
Oh,
what is it?
It's the name of the town. They're named, just like you guys, they're named after their town. It's Dildo Brewing.
That's amazing.
Where?
Yep.
Is it on,
it's in Nova Scotia.
It's in Nova Scotia.
Yeah.
And the best part is
it's the name of a town, Dildo, Nova Scotia.
This past winter, there was
completely true. Totally true.
And this is true too, because there's pictures of it. There was an iceberg that was floating around in the bay where Dildo is, that was shaped like a penis. Now, you can't tell me someone went out there with a chainsaw, didn't go out there with a chainsaw and make it look that way.
For sure.
They had to have.
Yes.
No. They didn't go out there with a chainsaw. They did it and then threw it in.
And then threw it in.
Let it float around.
You got to be talented to make sure it floats properly.
Yeah.
I'm feeling an international collab here.
Yes.
Dildo Buttzville.
Yes.
There you go.
It might be illegal in some states, though. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, it's not getting to Utah.
No.
It's not getting to
No,
Utah.
it's
you will not be able to sell that in the Middle East.
No.
Not happening.
We do try to team up with other like-minded named businesses. We just had a food truck somewhere nearby our brewery.
Yeah. Like across the street, they just happen to show up there.
Yeah, they just happen to show up. But their names, so the food truck is All the Possibilities, but their Instagram handle is We Got Nudes, like NOODS. So we were like, well, We Got Nudes has to show
NOODS, right? Noodles,
Yes.
nudes.
Yeah. Has to show up at Buttzville. We Got Nudes.
Absolutely.
Well, one of my favorite jokes, and I taught this to my son, and he has spread this across the globe now, was that because probably the most famous institution in your town is Hot Dog Johnny's.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Right.
We can walk there.
So I taught my son when he was a young kid that we were going to go get wieners in Buttzville. So he's in the Air Force. And he would tell this to the guys he served with, and they're like, "You're making that up. It doesn't exist." So I got him this shirt so that he could wear it around. His girlfriend now has threatened to burn it because he wears it too much.
No.
Oh.
But this is the backup in case she does. This is his. This won't fit me. This is a small. He's not a big dude.
It's in a safe.
Oh yeah.
It's in a safe.
There's a few things I've got put aside for my kids. One of them is really just to embarrass him if and never he gets married.
Mm-hmm.
It was his backup puppy because he would lose his puppy all the time. So I had multiple backups.
Oh.
So at the wedding, you're going to give him his backup puppy.
Either that, or I may make it a tearjerker and save it until his first kid.
Oh,
I
very
like that.
cute.
Without telling.
Yeah, you know what? That's what you got to do. You got to bring the backup puppy up during a speech at the wedding,
Yes.
Yeah.
and then give it to him.
No, I won't even bring up the backup puppy. I'll just bring a puppy.
Bring a puppy. There. Bring a puppy.
White puppy. His name was White Puppy.
White puppy. There you go. and then give it to him in the first kid. Yeah, there.
Yeah.
He wasn't
Yeah.
very imaginative with naming
There you
these
go.
things. But
Yeah, I guess I'm a little closer to that than you, though, huh?
yes, you are.
Yeah,
You
My
got
daughter-
weddings coming up.
I got 2 weddings coming up in another year and a half. So yeah, my daughters.
Congrats.
Yeah.
Now, back to the previous conversation.
So about
you guys were talking about styles and all that. What are your favorite styles? If you were only allowed to brew and drink one style for the rest of your life, what would that be?
So for me, it's such a toss-up, but I would have to go with a German Pils. It's classic. I love just how light it is. It's one of those beers that it can be easy drinking, but it has such a spicy, complex note, and there's nowhere to hide with German Pilsners. Like you have to really dial in and make sure it's perfect. And again, that's one of the things I love about classic styles is that a lot of them, it makes me happy that when I'm able to brew a classic style and it takes me, it's like, okay, actually know what I'm doing. I actually know how to brew beer, it's nice to have that, assurance up, but yeah, I just love the flavor of it. Czech Pils are okay. I do love Raquel, but for me, it's a German Pils for me all day long.
Nice.
Aaron, you're in agreement, or
I mean, I love a German Pils, but can I pick 3? I can't pick one.
her own private top 3.
Well, I was going to actually give you. I got a tie for 2, so go ahead, pick your 3.
Okay, all right, good. So I would have to say, and in no particular order, I love them all. But I would have to say a nice Belgian Saison.
That's my number 2.
I think that there's so many ways that can be complex and spicy in different ways. I think that the potential for funkiness in Saisons is fun. I love a Saison.
DuPont.
DuPont
Oh,
is
DuPont
That's the V saison.
Stupid. It's the I mean it's
It's
the epitome of the style, right?
Yeah, no one's ever going to top them.
Right.
Yeah, but you brew a really good saison, the Mountain View saison. That's actually a favorite in our tap room of customers. But I love that beer. I would say I also love a Flanders Red.
Oh yes.
Those are also, I feel like I like sour beers. Sour beers are good, but Flanders Red to me just takes that to a whole different direction, a whole new level.
A great face puckering level.
So you're a Duchess fan.
Yes, that's one of my. If you told me to pick your top 3 beers, that would be in my top 3.
That would be one of them, right?
I'll tell you one thing. When I did homebrew, I really only did a couple of batches, and I gave up after my second batch because I tried to do a cherry brown.
Oh.
It didn't turn out well.
Yeah.
So I put the bottles away for a long time, completely forgot about them until the basement flooded. Picked the box up and all these bottles fell out, and it was the cherry brown. Well, it was about 8 years old at the time, I think. So I was like, I cracked it. I took a sniff. I'm like, okay, so it infected, but did it infect good or bad?
Right, that's always the
That's
question.
always the question.
Right.
So I poured it, took a sip of it, and it was drinking like a Nuda Brewing.
Ooh, very good.
I'm like, I accidentally brewed an Uda Brewing.
I love it.
So right in that family of
Nice.
of the
Those
Flemish.
those are so good.
On that note, the first beer I ever brewed was an oatmeal stout. That's the first beer I ever brewed.
I love that.
Nice.
I love that.
Mine was a chocolate stout.
Nice. Yeah. So my third one would be English browns. I think that they don't get credit for being as wonderful as they are, but I love them.
Hell yeah.
Great beer.
Great beer. Mine, I would English brown would be a very close second to the two tied for number 1. And Dave could probably well, I mean, they're both German styles. Dave could tell you what both of them are. So.
Schwarzbier
1
and Doppelbock.
No, you're close.
Weizenbach?
Think Portland.
Think Portland. Oh, Sticke Alta.
Sticke Alt. Yeah, that's absolutely. Yeah.
Nice.
Whereas mine is Tomave Pivo.
Or Schwarzbier.
Which is very similar to a Schwarzbier. Tomave Pivos, and I'll take a Schwarzbier if I can't get Tomave. Love those. And then another one.
Which is funny because Tomave Pivo and Schwarzbier mean the same thing.
They mean exactly the same.
Same words.
But the creeks, absolutely love a creek.
Oh, they're great.
Love a Greek, but also I think one of my favorite will be the next style that I drink after I finish this, which is going to be very, very soon.
I love the Greeks too. Iliad and the Odyssey was amazing. So.
Creek.
Creek. Okay.
You know, like up on crippled.
Right. I got you. Sorry, my bad.
Where you go without a paddle.
Every day. Anyway.
Okay. That's my third beer.
Now for your third beer. Yeah, because
we're continuing the conversation. One of my favorite styles will always be my favorite style. I really wish people would stop adjuncting the hell out of them, unless it's coconut. I
agree 100%, unless it's maple.
I am really over the pastry stout thing. So give me a really just nice imperial stout, something nice and malty. This is barrel aged. I do love the barrel aged one, so I don't count that as an adjunct. That's just a treatment.
Yep.
Yeti's a great beer.
And Yeti, straight up Yeti, I used to have on tap when I smoked cigars. Yeti and a cigar pair so beautifully because it's going to, if you got a harsh cigar, the Yeti's going to cut into it. And a cigar makes Yeti taste sweet.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no sweetness to Yeti. And there's John's cigar. And there's no sweetness to this, but the cigar
my
makes it
humidor is right over here. So, like, literally right here.
So it's a classic case of, you got a beer and whatever it's being paired with, canceling with elements of it that roastiness canceling each other out with the roast and the smoke canceling each other, and you pull out other elements of the of each separate separate item in the pairing. Oh God, it's been so long since I've had this. Carrie got this for me yesterday, and this also goes into something John and I have been talking about. You heard about the loss of Anchor Brewing.
Yes.
And
hopefully, fingers crossed, they will be back.
It'll be temporary.
Hopefully, it's temporary. The employees and the brewers and everybody, they're trying to get funding from a lot of venture capitalists and everything else to try and buy back from Sapporo.
Yeah.
The brand, the name, the brewery, everything else. So
best brewery I've ever been on. That hands down. When we were out in San Francisco, best hands down.
Oh, rub it in,
because he was actually he had it booked. He's going to San Francisco in 3 weeks.
2 days later. 2 days later, they closed. 3 days later, I got the cancellation notice. I'm like, oh,
I'm
so sorry.
So, but at any rate, but what that did is, a lot of people wanted to blame Sapporo on that. For Sapporo, this was a straight up business decision. It's a sucky business decision. We didn't all like it, but you know what? It's really our fault. We've talked about this in the show a few times where drink local is a thing, and we love that. We will drink beers from our state, and I'm sorry, on Untapped, I always give a Jersey bump.
I literally keep this bottle on my desk to remind me every day when I see it right here.
I've still got some full ones, but we stopped buying it. We loved the beer, but we stopped buying it. We're responsible for this. As drinkers, we're responsible for this because we got so into the drink local. We forgot about the breweries that got us here.
Yeah. We need to. Here's the thing: there's got to be a happy medium, and it's a little bit, and maybe a large. Okay, maybe not a happy medium, happy large, but
or two.
You got it. Look. We all know, right here, sitting right here. You got to support local, right?
You have to.
That absolutely.
And even when you travel, drink local where you are.
Okay, but every now and then, and look, I definitely supported Anchor, but from late October through Christmas, right? I just bought the Christmas sale, right?
Right.
And that's it, right? So, but Anchor Steam was an incredible beer. Anchor Porter is an amazing porter.
It's one of the best porters in this.
Old Foghorn is an amazing barley wine, and Liberty. I haven't had it in years. Liberty Ale is great. Unfortunately, Dave and I hooked up with Anchor Steam and Anchor Porter, so we actually had them on the show a few weeks ago. I have a couple left. He has a few left. But yeah, when they're gone,
I've still got a whole 6-pack.
They're gone, right?
Yeah.
So I have some Christmas sales left that I'm saving. I'm going to have them this Christmas and enjoy them.
There, where I can keep an eye on them so no one takes them.
How many that we have? It was 12. 13.
Yeah, we just did a vertical tasting
that
of
was
a few different.
Joe, right? Joe gave us this, I think.
It was Joe and a few other
folks, yeah,
customers of ours,
yeah.
And we were hanging out and we did a vertical tasting of different years of Christmas ales.
Almost from 2006 or something.
There were some really old ones there, but it was really. I think that's what makes that beer so remarkable. Is every year there was just something unique.
Something unique about it. Yeah. I did a vertical. I did an 18-year vertical in 2013, so 10 years ago.
Wow.
So I did 96 through 2013. We did an 18-year vertical. And I got to be honest with you, in the Christmas time, 2013, when we did the 18-year vertical, 96 through 2013, the best one was 98.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. I mean,
the best one was 15 years old.
Yeah. I mean, I think the one we had was 13.
I think the oldest one we had was from the early 2000s,
mm-hmm.
and then we had some scattered every 3 or 4 years. We had a bottle, but there was definitely there was a clear favorite.
I think the consensus was the 2015, which means it was 9 years old, or something.
Yeah.
Oh, good, because I have a 15.
There you go.
There you go.
Hey, never mind. I'm not going to do it on the camera, Dave. So, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. You know. I think this is my oldest one.
2015.
Oh, very nice.
What is that?
That's 2013.
2013. There you go.
That might be my oldest one, unless there's one on the bottom that's older. I thought I went back a little further than that. We'll see. But I've got a whole soft side cooler full
But yeah, so what we're saying is, got to drink local. Even when you go on vacation, drink local. When you're out of town, drink local. Especially when you're in town, please drink local. Support us. Do everything right. But don't forget where you came from, right?
And we mentioned.
So, and we're not talking to just only by the old school guys or whatever. But every now and then, pick up a 4-pack.
Yeah,
that's all, once in a while. That's it. That's all you need to do. If everybody does that, we'll be fine. You know.
Last week on the show, I drank what, Stone and Founders. Yeah. And today it's Great Divide.
Great Divide.
Nice. These breweries that got us here.
Yeah, I'm gonna start doing that. Once we drink 3. You and I drink 3 beers a show, Dave. And I'm gonna start working some of those in. And for my 3rd beer, on that note.
Yeah, and this is an old school one that got us there. These guys have been around such a long time. They were revolutionary in their day. Oh no, wait, they haven't even opened their tap.
No, we didn't open the tap room yet. That's Nautical Twilight from Bus.
Wait, is that your porter?
That's the porter, yeah.
Oh my God, can I
throw that through the screen?
There you go.
That beer, when I go to Beer Fest and you give that to
me. Hold on, smell it. Here you go.
Oh, dude.
Television.
Hands down, that's one of my favorite porters.
Thank you very much.
That is my favorite beer that Coastal makes.
And I put it in proper glassware. There you go.
There you go.
There you go.
It is incredible. Like every time, like when we were, I think we were at Brizology and a couple other fests, but man, every time you've given me your porter, I think me and a couple of the other brewers and like Vito, like we're just like, oh my God, this is like the best porter. Like it's so good. I can't stop talking about it.
I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Really?
And hold on. Matt just wrote in, thanks, Dave. I love our porter too. There you go.
What's up, Matt? Cheers, buddy.
Yeah, he's not going to let John take all the credit for that.
So,
oh my God, I forgot what a punch this beer gives you, man.
Oh, the Yeti, the barrel aged Yeti.
Woof.
It's a great beer.
Love this beer.
Great beer.
There you go.
One of the classics, and my favorite version of it was the espresso.
The espresso was good. The vanilla bean one's good too. I never had one that was too vanilla. I've had one that was like too light vanilla. Could have been a little bit more, but most of them are pretty spot on.
I always really liked the espresso one. I really thought the character of the beer and the
Matt said cheers. There you go.
Yeah.
Cheers, Matt.
Cheers, Matt.
Cheers, Matt.
So,
so when did
hold on. He says I liked chocolate oak aged Yeti too. Yeah.
Okay, that's fair. So when did Buttzville open? Buttzville Brewing.
There you go. When did, let's get back to that, right? When did Buttzville open?
Yeah, at the beginning of the show, it's like, well, it's going to be all about you, and here we are talking about Yeti.
It's all good. July 31st, 2021.
2021.
Okay.
Nice.
Yep. So we just celebrated 2 years.
Very nice. Very nice. Happy anniversary.
Yes.
A little over a month late, but happy anniversary.
Take it.
Hey, we'll take it.
There you go. That's
how often do people come into the brewery with Hot Dog Johnnies?
Couple times every, I'd say at least once a month.
Yeah.
It's about like 5-6 miles away, right?
Yeah, because it's not that close.
Right there. It's
like 10 minutes.
It's 10 minutes. It's 10 minutes for me to get from my house to the brewery, and I'm literally I'm like a walk's away to Hot Dog Johnny's.
It's 5 to 6 miles as the crow flies, but you can't go that way.
No. Yeah, you gotta.
Yeah.
You gotta go up and around and down and through and then across and then find parking.
Yeah.
Yeah. You gotta love that. When did you start? Let's dial it back. You opened in July of 2021. When did you start? Like when you found the building, you said, okay, let's do this. Boom, let's incorporate. Let's form the company. We pick a building. When did all of that start? Like, what was the time frame? Like, how long did it take?
Yeah. So we incorporated our LLC in 2019.
Mm-hmm.
My dad had just passed away from colon cancer, and so we were like, I don't know. They say that you shouldn't make any big life decisions when you're grieving, but we ignored that and we went for it.
We got a message from the bid.
Yeah.
Cheers to Dad.
Yep. Yes. Thank you.
Thank you. He was a great guy.
But right at that time, what was really special was while we were saying goodbye to him, we had been messaged by the Washington Business Improvement District saying like, hey, we hear that you're interested in maybe opening a brewery. How about you come to Washington? So we were able to tell my dad, like, hey, we're going to do this. And he was excited for us.
So he found that out. Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah. That you were able to tell him that.
It was really special. It was really nice. But so then we got all of our stuff together, and then, like COVID hit.
Literally 3 days before.
Yay!
So the day before the governor shut down the whole state, we were sitting in a bank
for an SBA loan.
Yeah. And so like that didn't pan out.
Nope.
So so we had to figure some stuff out, but we persevered. And that's why if you look like at some of our t-shirts, it says established 2020 because that we wanted to open in 2020 and we were like, God damn it, we're just going to put 2020.
And we were working our asses off even during 2020 to get all this put together. Cause then we were like, okay, we're just going to work towards when COVID finally is, over and restrictions are lifted and all that, then we can move forward with this. And so, but I think we landed that building, we were in the
fall of 2019,
which was
when we found our spot.
And that was the first building, which didn't work out.
Yeah.
And then we ended up in our existing building.
So
and you got a damn good spot there.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I love it.
We like being right in the middle of downtown.
Yeah, that's a great location.
Yeah. Part of why we really wanted to open not just in Washington, but in that spot is, I don't think that people around the area know exactly how much history is in Washington. It's a really cool town, but it's just kind of been
my hometown. Yeah,
it's your hometown. Exactly. But it's just kind of been like down on its luck a little bit and looked a little sad. And we were like, this has so much potential. If towns like Hackettstown can turn their stuff around and become as thriving and beautiful as Hackettstown is, then so can Washington. And so we really have a lot of Washington pride. It's why a lot of our beer names are streets in the borough or sections like around Washington and Washington Township. So we're really, really happy to be where we are.
I'll say one thing. I've been to Hot Dog Johnny's many, 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 many times. I've never been in downtown Buttzville until I went to find your brewery.
Oh no, did you drive to Buttzville or did you actually get to Washington?
Oh, we drove to Buttzville Brewing, so we got downtown. Gotcha. No, I'm good at Google Maps.
He's a great Googler.
But yeah, no, we've been out geocaching with my youngest son, who's not old enough to drink. Went and grabbed wieners in Buttzville, and then it's like, okay, we're going to take these to the brewery and have a few beers. I think I wound up, and usually when I'm the one driving, I don't have more than a couple. But I got 3. So we're good. Everything's sunny in Buttzville.
Oh, I love that beer. I think I'm asking you to brew that again.
That's the ESB. That was really good. I really, really enjoyed that. And
you had to bring up something that involved Danny DeVito on this podcast. Seriously.
Oh, just if you follow John and his girlfriend, she met Danny DeVito, and we never will hear the end of this because she was in like every magazine, every newspaper. She was in Runner's World because she met Johnny DeVito while she was jogging on the board.
Danny, not Johnny DeVito.
Johnny DeVito. Okay.
His brother.
Yeah.
Hot dog Danny's.
Right. Hot dog Danny's. Another one I really liked was the Hop to It Citra.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah, that's a series that we started because again, classic style, but also I'm a certified beer judge for BCCP. Same with Erin, and so we take education very seriously with beer and everything. And so I was like, what, be fun. Let's just start showcasing different hops to people so they understand Citra, Mosaic, Galaxy, things like that. And so I started series with Hop to It, which is our pale ale series, very light, very crisp, but squeeze as much of that hop as I possibly can for pale ale. And then I also do it in our Broad Street series, which are basically New England's or just IPAs across the board. Right. So you can just taste what that hop is. And this way, if somebody's like, oh, now I can show up to the barbecue and start being like, oh yeah, I know what Citra tastes like, or I know what Galaxy is, or if people start talking about hops, because everybody knows that most people like hops. So guess what? You look kind of cool if you're like, hey, I know what Galaxy tastes like, things like that. Yeah. So that's kind of what inspired that series for us.
I love single hop series. I remember the first one I ever did was Brewdog's single hop series.
Oh, very nice.
Way back in the day, a friend of mine, the senpai, I called him the senpai because as samurai he'd call me the sensei because I taught him about beer. And we went and got some Five Guys, and we had about 10 of the Brewdog single hop series. So we learned nothing about hops because it was Brewdog. Why would you? I mean, the ABV on those things just made it.
Yeah,
there were some big ones.
That's the extreme.
Yeah. There was just no reason. We learned nothing about hops. So I appreciate when someone does a single hop series in a lower ABV beer like a pale ale. That's awesome. I enjoyed that.
Yeah,
I don't remember much of that night.
Yeah, and the hop to it, they're also smashed, so it's a single hop, single malt. So just
nice,
simple 2-row and hops, and that's it.
Brewdog when it comes to ABV is ridiculous. I actually have 2 bottles of. They released it a couple years ago. Strength in Numbers. Okay, it's an ice bock that they did. It's 57.8% alcohol.
Insane.
Okay, and I'm like, a bunch of us, we got a bunch of the bottles, right? I grabbed 2, and then somebody had 1, and they said it was way, way, way too hot. So I'm like, I'm just sitting on them, and it's at least 2 years ago now. So I may not open one of them for another couple of years. I just want to
sit on that for a bit. Yep,
sit on it. It's an ice box It's an ice box that's almost 60%. It's an ice box, 120 proof ice box, right?
Oh, yeah. I got bourbons that aren't as strong.
Exactly. I got barrel proof, barrel strength rye. Bourbons and ryes that are lower in alcohol than this.
Yep. Yeah, same here, right behind me.
Right. Jeez. But anyway, all right. So a couple of beers you brew. Let's.
Matt had a comment that was germane to what we were talking about.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't even see it.
Your partner. You're ignoring your partner.
I didn't see the comment. I love the beauty of simplicity, especially in beer. Absolutely.
Yes.
He and I are. Yeah. That works very well because so do I. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. You gotta love that. What are some of the other beers Dave's mentioned a few. You've mentioned a couple as well. What are your staples? What are your flagships that you're brewing all the time? And then what is some of the fun stuff you're doing right now?
Yeah, so that's the fun part. So we originally, all the breweries around us, the whole brewery triangle with the amazing breweries of, Mansker, Zig, and Jersey Girl up by us. I mean, fantastic. So they all have flagships. So we were kind of like, you know what? I like just brewing beer. Let's just go kind of that nonconformist route. Let's just organically maybe get our flagships over some time. And so it kind of has now developed into our Norwegian Sprinter, which is the American Blonde, our Ascended West Coast IPA, which Erin is currently drinking.
Oh, very nice.
I love West Coast IPAs, and not enough people brew them.
There you go. I love the labels, by the way. Great job.
Yeah. Thank you.
The Buns of Steel Oatmeal Stout, just because it's a good classic, it's a good stout. It doesn't have lactose, so no real allergy worries with that. And then our Velvet Haze New England IPA, which is just an absolute massive juice bomb. And I brewed that, and I think it sold like within a week. And now it's almost like 4 or 5 barrels. And I was like, okay, this is clearly
a favorite.
People are begging me to brew it again. And so I just finished brewing one today, and it's going to be on tap permanently. So those are our 4 flagships officially now. It took us 2 years to get there.
Yeah, we really
nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, we wanted the people, to have a say in what our flagships were.
And rightfully so. That's a great job.
That. And it's totally different than what I like. If you had asked me before we opened, like, what are your flagships? What do you think the flagships would be?
It wouldn't have been those.
It would not have been those.
Right.
So it was interesting.
Especially
you had to expect the New England IPA to be there, though.
Oh, for sure.
Well, and that's
right.
yeah. I mean, I have a bunch of New Englands I throw out, but Velvet Haze was just there's too much of an impact, and to the point that it just overran our sales of even our number one seller of Sprinter. People didn't even care about our other beer; they just came in for Velvet Haze.
Yeah.
And so I was just like, okay, I can never take this off tap ever again.
No, you can't.
But you still leave room to riff.
Yes. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
So I think that our seasonals people definitely look for. It's only been 2 years, but people look for them every year.
Pumpkin.
So like I said before, the Butts Not to Like brown ale, people ask for that all year long, and we're like, nope, we only do it in the fall. So we're going to be brewing that very soon.
Nice.
The pumpkin beer, our Cemetery Hill pumpkin. So that's one that's named after a road around Washington. But it fits really well for a pumpkin beer.
Mm-hmm.
Pumpkins, Halloween, Cemetery Hill. Sure, absolutely.
Absolutely.
But that one, I'm not a pumpkin beer fan, but at all. Like I will choke them down. Like if someone force feeds me one, but
I have to choke them down one Tuesday every year.
Oh.
Thank you, Johnny.
we do one pumpkin beer. We do a pumpkin beer show once a year. So, but you know what though? Here's the thing. Like I'm not a huge pumpkin beer fan, but I do appreciate good ones.
Yeah. So
That's a field
We
day.
did a vertical tasting of that.
we
Because I don't like pumpkin beer either, but it was one of those things that
were like, we want to do pumpkin beer.
want to do a pumpkin beer.
But neither of us like pumpkin beers.
Yeah.
We need to find some out there that we like. So, Dave, I think you modeled your pumpkin beer after the Chafly.
That's a good one to model it after.
And so, as a
That's my and on my top 3 pumpkin beers. That's in the top 3, and it's usually number 2.
Yeah.
Read the comment we just got.
It's got to be from Matt because he loves pumpkin beers.
Yeah.
It was really
Matt will skip the pumpkin beer show.
Yeah.
I'm
I can't. Thanks, buddy.
So if Coastal brews a pumpkin beer,
You're on the show.
You'll have Jess to thank, not Matt. So,
Yes.
yeah. Well,
because it'll be Jess convincing Matt to brew her a pumpkin beer as well.
So when is your pumpkin coming out?
I'm brewing
probably.
that. I think that's going to be after the food shed beer next week.
Yeah. So
brewing
probably
it.
next week we'll be brewing it. So it'll hopefully be done by the end of September.
There you go.
Okay.
Oh, hold on. Don't say anything else.
Okay.
Thank you for not seasonally creeping the pumpkin
Thank
beer.
you for not brewing it in June. Okay. Thank you.
That's what the top was for.
No, that drives us.
Yeah.
That drove that
Yeah.
that whole thing drives us nuts. Like, and that I love Chafly, and shout out to my assistant brewer who does love pumpkin beer, and he was the one that was like, we should just get a bunch
And our
of different.
taproom manager.
And our taproom manager,
Colleen also
they're
likes it.
obsessed with pumpkin beer. The
Okay.
two of them, and so they were like, let's get like 5 or 6 and just do a vertical tasting, and then let's figure out what we like about them, and we'll make a pumpkin beer based on that, because I don't want a pumpkin beer that tastes like potpourri. That's why I
Thank
hate
you.
pumpkin beers.
Yeah.
There you go. Fair enough.
So
So
I
I
had
think we
way
did
more
that.
pumpkin than I do spice.
Yeah, I think we managed the non-potpourri pumpkin
Yeah.
beer.
Alright,
So
so
I can drink it, and if I can drink it,
Oh,
you know.
God, yeah.
Then maybe I'll have to run out and grab one for the show, because the show is going to be, our pumpkin show is slated for October 17th.
October 17th.
Okay.
then.
That
ours
is when
will
the
be
show-
out by then.
It will be
so,
out by then.
Yeah.
Let's come
But,
grab that. And if you could ever clone Weyerbacher's Imperial Pumpkin Ale,
That is a good
That's-
tip.
that's what I would be.
Yeah. Weyerbacher Imperial Pumpkin is definitely up on the list.
So
Yeah.
I would say
Yeah.
it goes Chafly for me, the Weyerbacher Imperial, and then I am still a sucker for Pumpkin, but it has to be on Nitro.
I
It has to be on Nitro, and
The best version of Pumpkin is the rum barrel aged Pumpkin. That's the best one.
Okay.
What about Rumpkin from Avery?
Rumpkin from Avery is just stupid, and with the Kentucky bourbon barrel aged pumpkin. So it's pumpkin with the KY
Yes.
capitalized in pumpkin.
if I was gonna drink a pumpkin, it would have to be just the Chafly yours. And then I'm a rogue, and I really like the Maple Mistress.
Oh, that's the butternut squash.
Yeah, it's a
Okay.
butternut
Butternut squash, yeah.
See,
cream.
my number one every year is Warlock.
Warlock, of course. My number one every year is a whole hog pumpkin. That's the best one.
Yeah.
So,
But
Maple Mistress. That's the one, Maple.
Yeah, Maple.
there you go.
No, you have to try
John's with you. John's with
You
you.
have to try it.
Absolutely.
Are there any coconut pumpkin beers out there?
No, not that I know.
No, I don't know about that. Yeah, exactly.
Like
And
a
then-
firkin for us, though.
Ooh, I like that. Yeah.
There you go.
Be a firkin.
Yeah.
There you go.
Gene Lynch just wrote in, "Hey, Dave and Erin."
Hi, Gene.
Cheers, Gene.
Good to see you.
Gene. Do I know Gene?
Cheers, Gene.
Gene is from,
I think
Hi, Gene.
I think we might know Gene.
We might know
He's
Gene.
from NJCB. Really
We
good.
might know Gene.
maybe.
May have known him for a little bit.
A little bit.
Just a bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, how big? You know what? Let's dial it back just one quick second. How big's your system you brew? None.
So we are a 5-barrel brew system, electric. We have 4 unit tanks and 1 bright tank. Very much hoping in the next year or two to upgrade a couple to 10s or 15s so I can
Double batch into
double
them.
or
And,
triple. Especially for canning and things like that. That's been one thing we've been really emphasizing is getting a lot of canning out there.
sure.
So that's like something we're looking at, growth wise and everything. But right now we're a 5-barrel system. I absolutely love my system. It's very point A to point B. There is no manifold or anything like that. But I'll tell you what, I have not had a problem. I love it, and it's simplicity. And I was a robotics person in high school, and I almost went to college for that. And I always designed things very simple
Right.
to work. And
Sure.
I designed my brew house. I was like, you know what can I take that's like my homebrew system and make it professional? And so, I remember brewing on bigger systems at, Two Rivers and Hijinks, like Post-it notes and number codes, and it was like grams. And like, it was, but it was to a point that, I would show up to Josh in the morning and he would be like, "So Dave, do you remember what valve to pull for the whirlpool?" He'd be like, "Don't pull that valve. It'll cost like $10,000. I'm like, ah! I'm like, okay. Don't want that for my brew system. So,
Right.
There's 2 things I just realized about the beer I'm drinking.
What's that?
One is 12.5%, so I was wondering where I was getting punched in the head.
Oh yeah, no. It's well. You see, hold on. You didn't see this before when I put this up.
No, I don't know
Okay.
because the failure of the
12.5%.
failure of your first crawl, I didn't want it to. Here's the other thing I just noticed about it.
What's
You
that?
can see that.
No.
2021.
2 years.
This is a 3-year-old beer. A 2-year-old
wow.
beer.
2-year-old beer. Yeah, 2-year-old beer. Please, 2 years. It's not 2024 yet.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
we there's a reason we disallow math on the show.
Yeah, no. I was told there would be no math. We do math one day a year on March 14th.
Pie day.
Pi
Day.
That's it. That's it.
Yep.
We actually have. It's funny because I actually have this in here. We have this crawl when March 14th when we do it.
There it is.
That's it.
Let's run it right
It's
across.
rolling across the whole entire show. It's rolling across.
That's awesome.
And the thing is, unfortunately, there's not enough digits that you can put in there to have as much as
we can't.
we can't run the whole show without repeating.
Oh, disappointing.
Yes.
Yeah, it does repeat. It does repeat I think it repeats every 5 minutes. So, like, I mean,
Not too bad.
obviously, pi is infinite, right? So, it unfortunately the crawl is not.
Yeah.
so
That would be a
But,
great call.
that would be. Matt, by the way, Matt said Elysian Punkachino has the coffee to cut the spices. Yes, it does.
Agreed.
I agree. Unfortunately, they're owned by Big Beer.
Right.
Yeah.
Give it time though, because AB InBev did sell a fate of their brand, so Elysian's probably soon to follow. So.
But that beer has a soft spot in my heart because that beer made AB InBev look like a bunch of jackasses during the Super Bowl by making fun of their own beer.
Well, yeah, but that and other. I mean, Elysian made what? Elysian makes like 12 pumpkins a year. Elysian makes.
Yeah,
so, like,
but
it's like,
the fact they made fun of that beer, in particular,
specifically that one, yeah,
a month after acquiring them,
yeah.
it was great.
And but you see, I remember that's the second most from that Super Bowl that you're talking about. That's the second most thing that I remember from that Super Bowl.
Jeez.
The first thing I remember is Pete Carroll not letting Russell Wilson hand off to Marshawn Lynch.
Oh,
And
you give it to the beast, it would have been goal line all the way.
Exactly. Brady would have one less ring.
Yes,
Right
he
now.
would.
If he just made that one call.
Yes, he
That's
would.
and he would have lost to 3 teams in the Super Bowl at that point rather than just
Instead of
2.
the Giants.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
the
exactly.
and did they
And
lose
the
also
Eagles.
to the
They
Eagles?
lost once to the Eagles. Yeah.
Eagles once.
He lost. He lost to the Eagles once, and he lost to Eli twice. So I have to
And
say that.
And what I love is when Eli retired, Brady came out and said, "Congratulations on retirement. Great career. I really just wish you hadn't won so many Super Bowls."
Yeah, just when you watch 2 less Super Bowls. Yeah, exactly.
And you know what? You got to give Brady credit for acknowledging that. That was
Exactly.
Oh, absolutely.
yeah,
And
it was great.
by the way, Matt is thinking of making a better version.
Ooh.
I'm with you there, bud.
Puppuccino-
Let's do it.
puppuccino?
Let's do it, bud. I'm with you. Let's
Wait,
do it.
Coastal's doing a pumpkin? I love it.
Nice.
A coffee pumpkin. Well,
So
I mean,
kind of a playoff of Nautical Twilight, but pumpkin.
nautical.
How about a pumpkin coffee porter?
Ooh, I'm all over that.
I would love to see a pumpkin
we
coffee.
might
porter.
have to work on that. We might
I
have
think
to work
DJ and
on
Colleen might be on this too. So
that.
I like pumpkin coffee porter.
Yeah.
That might work.
It's not a bad deal. Not a bad deal.
I like that.
Yeah.
Matt, make it happen.
We'll have to work on it. Yeah, we'll definitely. So what do you got coming up, events wise? What do you got beer wise coming up for the fall and events wise?
So beer wise, we're really excited to be part of a group of breweries that are doing different beers using just local New Jersey ingredients. And part of the proceeds are going to
Awesome.
benefit the Food Shed Alliance, which is housed in Hope, New Jersey.
Mhm.
So it's us, Sigmeister, Manskirt, Angry Eric, up in Sussex County, and us.
Sure.
That's everybody, right?
That's
The most beautiful bar in all of Jersey.
Oh, I love their
the
Viking
Viking
tap
ship
room.
is so
So
badass. So badass. And they're great people.
Yeah.
Great people.
So we're all doing, it's all different beers. Some of them have been brewed already. Ours is coming up. But they showcase New Jersey ingredients. So for ours, we're going to be doing a dry hop saison that features malts from Rabbit Hill.
Whose idea was that, Dave?
Yeah. Well, I like to think that I'm just behind the scenes. But
I love saison too. They're just not my
as all wives do.
yes.
Yes.
But so,
Remember, behind every great man,
It's a woman rolling her eyes.
eyes.
It's a perfect balance. She was like, "What should we do?" And I'm like, "You know what? We'll do a dry hop saison because I love hops, and so it's a perfect balance."
There
yeah,
you
so
go.
we're going to be featuring.
It's a perfect marriage.
It's a perfect marriage of ingredients. There you go.
So for that, we'll be using Rabbit Hill malts, and we'll be using hops from Piper's Hill, which is a farm just like 2
Not even a
minutes
mile
up the
from the
road from
brewery.
us in Washington.
Yep.
So shout out to Jeff at Piper's Hill. We're actually going to be going there Sunday and doing a big picking festival with
that's
him.
nice.
So we're very excited to get his hops in that beer.
This coming Sunday?
Yes.
Yeah, it's gonna be
I
a
would-
Comet hop saison, very tangerine, very I just feel like it really lends itself to a good spicy. Honestly, I'm basically taking Mountain Dew and I'm just gonna dry hop the crap out of it to showcase what Jeff has, but I am adding a little bit of extra different special hops that Rabbit Hill offers.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
They have a big selection, so I was like, I'm just gonna play with all the hops and see what I can.
Nice.
Yeah. So in addition to that one, we're also, we're heading into the fall, the holidays and everything. So, again, we have our pumpkin beer, but we'll also be brewing things like our cranberry saison. Again, I had nothing to do with that.
Saucy.
But that's something that we always put out for
We
Thanksgiving.
believe you.
And then the big one that everyone looks forward to coming up soon is our Visions of Snickerdoodles Snickerdoodle Cream Ale.
Visions of Snickerdoodles. I love it. Great.
Yeah, it's pretty fantastic. I think all year long, besides our flagships, that is the most popular seasonal that we do. People
and you like to riff on your cream ale. I had
riff on your criff.
Riff on the Criff. That's a whole different hot dog
Yes.
place.
He's done-
That's a New York hot dog.
Yeah, so cream ale is just a good base. Honestly, one of my really good friends when I was homebrewing was Dave Kurdiak. Unfortunately, rest in peace. His favorite style was cream ale, and we used to always joke, and we'd be like, "Ask cream ale," and like I love cream ales. It was the first beer I ever brewed to. But they're very versatile, and there's many different things you could do. So, like, for a Christmas beer, I was like, you know what? Snickerdoodles are definitely in my top 5 cookies. Let's make a Christmas beer, and let's make it Snickerdoodle with like vanilla, cinnamon, some lactose. For Easter, her mother always makes the best lemon squares on the planet,
and I had that beer.
Yes.
Just
oh my
like
God.
Mom's.
I'm so sad we didn't brew that this year. It's so good.
We had such a busy, chaotic schedule this year. I did not get to brew it. I'm very sad. Customers were also very sad.
Well,
I promise it's coming back.
I finished the first 2 beers. I'm like, I need something for dessert. And this beer is intriguing the hell out of me. A lemon curd cream ale.
Mm-hmm.
That was you've invented the pastry cream ale, I think.
Pastry cream ale. Yeah.
It's one of those
The quintessential Buttzville pastry cream ale.
There you go.
What can we say?
Well, the original name of my cream ale was what? Preparation.
Yeah, when we were.
Don't say H. Please don't say H.
It was G.
G.
Preparation G.
It has to be like one. We couldn't say H.
We didn't want to say H.
Yeah.
So we were like G.
There was a reason to that.
I call it preparation H.
G. Because it's what happens before you need the second one.
But yeah, it's just stuck, and like her mom makes the best lemon squares on the planet, and so we were like,
how can we make this?
Now that you've said that on the show, next Easter you're going to have to save one or 2 for when we get up to the brewery.
Lemon squares.
Yeah, 100%.
Yes.
If you come on release day, both my mom and I love to bake, and so like when we release a beer that has any kind of baked goods or whatever, whether it's a firkin or one of our regular beers, I'll make some extra to have on the counter. But my mom does the same thing. So when we release the lemon square cream ale, she makes a few batches of those things. So you've got to release.
Nice.
Yeah,
hey, John. Before we get too separated from the pumpkin ale discussion, we got to.
Yeah, I know. I got to get back to it really quick. First of all, DJ Lazanovsky said pumpkin porter. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So
and then,
DJ is our he works in our tap room, and he's also
a Dolphins fan.
A Dolphins fan, right?
Yes.
Yes.
So
Steelers
the joke,
represent those. Steelers right here.
The joke though is that I'm a Bills fan.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Oh, hold on, Dave. You
Steelers.
Okay.
All
So
day long.
DJs.
That's
Okay, so
old
we
team.
got a lot of AFC going on in your brewery.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
Okay.
Lots of AFC.
Well, and our tap room manager
Is a Jets fan.
and then one of our other workers is a Green Bay fan, and then we have a Chiefs fan. So we're like all over the board.
Really? Wow.
But there's no Giants fans. I'm like,
No.
But that's really that's
Western New Jersey.
Washington Township's really not Giants territory, though.
I also spent most of my
That's true. Yeah.
I also spent most of my life in Pennsylvania. Like I went to college, and that's where I worked for my dad's business. So like Pittsburgh, Penn State, like I bleed all that over there.
I hear you.
I grew up a Steelers fan until the team that won all the damn Super Bowls all retired,
By the way-
and I became a Giants fan.
Whoa.
Yeah. By the way, I'm a Giants fan. I'm a Giants fan from birth. Okay, but I'm also a football fan. Okay,
I'm a football fan too.
And one of my AFC teams that I watch more than other AFC teams is indeed the Steelers. And I do love the city of Pittsburgh.
I still have love
And I
for
love
the
the
Steelers.
beer.
A
I
lot
love
of
the
love for
beer.
Steelers.
Right. So, and last October went out to, I don't care. Yeah, it's Acrisure, but I call it Heinz Field. Screw
It's
you.
Heinz Field.
It's Heinz Field.
Heinz
Okay.
Field.
There you go. Right there.
Oh, very nice.
Cheers to that. It's
Nice.
Heinz Field forever.
John, you did miss Gene's comment.
Yeah, I'm going to put that up there. And then Gene said if it's said on here, it becomes law. So
and that's the pumpkin coffee porter.
Pumpkin coffee porter. That
Hold
welcome
to it now.
Yep. Gene's holding you to it.
Gene's holding us to it, so we're gonna have to do it.
Yeah.
All right. All right. What do you got coming up next year?
In terms
Future
of
plans.
future plans. Well, we're so we have a couple of major kind of infrastructure things coming up.
Oh yeah, please do tell.
Yeah, so we are going to be getting a new beer trailer that we're very excited about. We found one on Long Island. That's going to be coming to the brewery. So we're going to be outfitting that. We just went to Fort Nonsense and Jersey Girl and checked out their trailers.
Thank you so much for both Chuck and
Andrew and
great
Chuck.
people, great beer.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Chuck's a good friend of the show.
Yeah.
Yes, we love Chuck.
Love Chuck.
So we have that we're going to be working on kind of throughout the winter to hopefully have that ready to go for.
And you're bringing that to festivals and everything else. That's
Oh,
awesome.
absolutely.
Exactly.
Yep.
Beautiful.
And then we are also hopefully
Thursday.
going to be getting a canning line.
Very nice.
So that's a big, I know that's like less sexy, but for us it's
Oh no, that's very important.
For people who own breweries,
It's
that's sexy as hell.
It's sexy to me.
Yes, yeah.
All brewers.
For all brewers, that's straight up porn right there.
Yeah, so we went with a twin monkey just to fulfill more
The Mancos.
Yeah. So we're very excited. We just have to finalize the grant that we got from the state for this. We're very appreciative of that. But once that's finalized, we should have our own canning line, and we're very excited about that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, congrats on that. That's awesome. That's definitely expansion.
Yeah.
And and then you can get those other 10-barrel tanks in there and start double batching and
That's
and
exactly what we're looking.
really get it rolling. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Cheers on that. And I only have a little bit left. So
I'd sure, but I've got nothing left.
yeah.
I almost basically chugged a 12.5% friggin' stout.
Yeah. I you know what? I'm
I'll sleep
shocked.
well
That
tonight.
never happens with Dave.
No,
that
never.
never.
Well, but you had a pizza before. Like you
did.
had some cheese
I
pizza.
had half a pizza, so I've got a good base going. So
All
I'm not completely punched in the head here.
right.
but-
Well, now that we've actually rounded back up to food, maybe we should do our top threes.
This is how we do segues.
This is called the segue, right?
I'm a professor. I know all about segues.
There you go. Okay, well, tonight's top three list, as everybody knows, and you guys, and we look, everybody that watches the show and listens to the show on the audio podcast knows we've said this a million times. We do a top three list for two reasons. One, 1933 was the repeal of prohibition. So 33, we do a top three list, right? And also, if we do a top 10, it would take way too long because Dave and I usually don't stick to even three. So on the top three list. So tonight's top three list is top. Nope, that's not it. Before I actually put that up there, I actually forgot to actually copy and paste this. So
Who's
I'm going to keep talking.
12.5%?
No, I just forgot before. There we go.
Let's stall for John here.
No, I'm done. It's done. It's
Oh,
done.
you got it.
So
Okay.
yeah. So tonight's top three list is top three favorite ways to top a hot dog. Top three favorite ways to top a hot dog. Erin, you start.
ladies first.
Ladies first.
Well, I feel like the first way that one would have to top a hot dog would be the traditional hot dog Johnny's way. Does anyone else here know what that would be?
Please tell us.
I think it's mustard, chop pickle, chop onion.
It is. So Hot Dog Johnny's does not do any kind of fancy like chili dogs or anything like that. They're like bare bones.
But you can get buttermilk with it.
Yes.
Oh God.
So I grew up not too far from here, and so that would be something we would do with my my paternal grandfather. And his big thing was the buttermilk. He would get it every time, and my brothers and I would sit there and be like watching him. But he would totally like dip his hot dog in
the with the pickles, onions, and mustard in it.
No, you dip the
No,
hot dog.
So the traditional way is just a plain hot dog and you dip it in the buttermilk.
Yes. But the real Hot Dog Johnny's way, if you're going to get it, is going to be the chopped raw white onions, a very thinly sliced dill pickle, and then mustard. That's like the hot dog Johnny's way.
And that's three things too.
Well,
but that's fine.
It's
But
it's a combo.
It is.
Other than that, man, I've got to like think. I guess I'm pretty traditional with I just like some like honey mustard or mustard on my hot dog.
Ooh.
I'm pretty plain.
Ooh.
Like I feel like you need to maybe it's like reminiscing about the buttermilk.
Well, there you go.
Better. Yeah.
All right. Well, I got to tell you that buttermilk and hot dogs, that goes way back because I can't even say that I ever did that, but I can remember my father telling me when he was a kid, his father taking him over to Coney Island and going to Nathan's, and my father would get a hot dog, or a couple hot dogs or hot dog and fries or whatever. He's sitting there. He's a kid. He's eating it, right? And he watched his father. His father would get a couple of hot dogs, a knish, and a buttermilk. So.
Wow. How did the buttermilk get in there? I don't understand it.
I don't get that.
Wow.
Okay. Well,
all right. Dave.
So my number one favorite would be just sauerkraut. Love sauerkraut. So just a kraut dog. Another one that I've never had, but it sounds really good, and it's from one of my favorite shows growing up was Simpsons. The Albuquerque Isotopes. They created a hot dog that had like this pineapple salsa on top. And so a pineapple spicy salsa on top of a hot dog sounds unbelievable.
It does sound really good. Yes.
So I think I'm going to go with that one as probably my top because sweet and spicy is kind of my thing.
Very nice.
And who might be unconventional, weird, and super messy. But because Frank and beans go well, why not just put some Boston baked beans
on it? Yeah.
That's not a bad thing. Not a bad thing at all.
Oh,
There you go.
Especially put some maple syrup in it for Johnny.
Oh, there you go.
And now it all full
you put a little bit of porter in your beans. There you go. You got
there you go.
Absolutely. Definitely. Okay. All right, Samurai.
Traditionally, one of my favorite things to do, and I'll do it at home all the time, it's just a hot dog, mustard, relish, Tabasco.
Mustard, relish, Tabasco.
I just love the way all those flavors play together. Because you got the tang of the mustard, you got the sweetness of the relish, and then you got the heat of the Tabasco. All works together for me. I like that. But then out, and I've had it many places, and it's usually how I judge a hot dog by its toppings rather than by the hot dog. Because let's face it, Hot Dog Johnny's got a really good dog.
Mm-hmm.
They do.
And we're lucky to be in Jersey because we got Hot Dog Johnny's, but we've got the best hot dog place in the whole country in Rutt's Hut. And they've got that.
The splitters.
The
splitters.
The Rippers.
Rippers. Yes.
Rippers.
Yeah, the Rippers are,
and they're right across the street from a brewery, so there's no excuse not to grab your dogs and walk over to Ghost Talk, sit down. They're used to people eating hot dogs in front of their faces.
And you got Silk City there too. You got Silk City there too.
You got the distillery there. If you really want to get ripped with your Rippers, you can go there. But that's neither here nor there, because the one thing you can't do at Hot Dog Johnny's is you cannot order a chili dog, and a chili cheese dog to me is just. It's the way I will judge a lot of hot dog places that have a lot of different special kind of dogs. If it's like judging a brewery by their Pilsner. If they can't do a Pilsner, forget it. If you go to a hot dog place that has all these different types of toppings, strange, weird, whatever, and they can't deliver a chili cheese dog, forget about it. It's just not happening.
That sounds like hate on Hot Dog Johnny's. I might have to take that personally.
But I did mention that they've got a really good dog, though. The
go.
dog itself is
very good dog.
It's a really good dog.
There you go.
But my number one way to do a dog, and we almost covered this when we were talking about Two Rivers, is Criff Dogs does one that is peanut butter, bacon, and crushed pretzels.
Ooh.
Where is
No. Crushed pretzels?
Was it crushed pretzels? No, what is it?
Potato chips.
Potato chips. Crushed potato chips.
And pickles.
I have them hold the pickles. That's just but the peanut butter, bacon, and something crunchy and salty.
Oh, yum. Where is this?
This is in St. Mark's Square.
On St. Mark's Place. Just up from Tompkins Square Park.
It's right next to one of our favorite places to drink as well.
Okay.
And
who in 3 weeks actually the owner of Augers Well is coming on the show actually. Yeah, finally.
Nice.
But if you go to Criff Dogs, there is a telephone booth in Criff Dogs, and we're not supposed to tell about it because it's Please Don't Tell is the name of the place. You go into there, pick up the handle, they'll ask you, "Hi, can I help you?" And you tell them how many people in your party. And if they've got room, the back of the telephone booth opens, and you're in a speakeasy.
So there was a speakeasy in Atlanta where I went to, and I think it was literally called the Red Telephone Booth. But somebody knew the code, and I went in, and it was a really cool place. And they had amazing cigars to go with all the amazing.
You're talking Johnny's
I'm a
right now.
Right here.
All right, where's that? Because I'm going.
It's literally in the heart of the financial district of Atlanta.
I'm going to have to get there.
Yeah.
Red Booth. Okay, so. Yeah. But yeah, no, Criff Dogs has got some really ingenious combinations. But
nice.
I'm one of those people you can put peanut butter on almost anything, and then when you pair it with bacon,
yeah. Dave will take an $80 filet mignon. You put bacon and peanut butter on it. It's even better.
I'm sold.
You remember my grandpa's diner?
Right.
Oh man.
Coffee, rub a ribeye, and then spread peanut butter on it, and add some bacon on top, and I'm good. Yeah.
My grandpa would go to the local diner and he would literally bring his own jar of peanut butter to the Washington diner because he was such good friends with everybody there. Come in, he was like 90 years old, and he'd bring his own jar of peanut butter, get an English muffin toasted, peanut butter, and bacon. Yeah. And that was his lunch.
Nice.
That's funny because my favorite way to do an English muffin is you toast the English muffin, honey, peanut butter, cinnamon.
I'm going to try that.
Very good.
That sounds really good.
Love that.
Honey, peanut butter, cinnamon. That's actually pretty good. I like that.
Oh, God, it's delicious.
So, all right.
Peanut butter rules.
Yeah. So what's your
me? All right. I'm going to give you a couple honorable mentions, and then I'm going to give you my 3. Okay.
You notice I had no honorable mentions this time.
I know.
Mine were very serious.
I'm going to give you my honorable mentions. All right. My first honorable mention is going to be Criff Dogs, just in general. And it was going to be my second honorable mention, but because Dave brought it up, it's my first honorable mention. It's anything they do. The Lil Ma, it's like Dave said. What they do is they'll take we talked about Rutt's Hut, right? The owner of Criff Dogs is from Clifton, New Jersey. So he grew up on Rutt's Hut hot dogs. So he takes the same hot dogs and deep fries them at Criff Dogs. So it's the same kind of hot dog. But what he does is most of his hot dogs, he actually wraps them in bacon, with toothpicks through them, and deep fries them with the bacon up. So the bacon adheres to the hot dog, and then he puts all the toppings on. Right.
And I'll add on to your honorable mention, almost anything they do where they throw jalapenos into it as
absolutely.
well.
Right.
Ooh.
So, and they do that. The some of the tots that they do are amazing.
Oh, God,
the jalapenos.
Tots.
The tots are crazy, right.
That's a whole different. That's a whole nother.
That's a whole other list.
Whole other top 3.
Right. So, but they whatchamacallit, the Lil Ma is amazing with the bacon, obviously bacon wrapped with pickles, peanut butter, and potato chips. They do a tsunami dog, which is bacon wrapped with green onions, teriyaki sauce, and pineapple.
Oh, that's all over me right there.
So good. It's so good. I could go on and on and on, but pretty much anything Criff Dogs does, that's an honorable mention.
Okay.
The other honorable mention is Stewart's. Can't leave out Stewart's hot dogs.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
Been a while.
And specifically, Stewart's chili dogs and Stewart's their bacon and cheese dog.
Yeah.
Stupid good, right?
Oh my gosh, it's been so long since I've had one of those.
I miss Stewart's. That was my high school hangout.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Those are just honorable mentions. Okay. So but my number 3 is mustard and hot dog onions. So the red onions, spicy onions.
Yeah.
So mustard on the hot dog, and then the onions over it. That's my number 3.
Like the Sabrettes.
Right.
Hot dog onions, yeah.
And you could I'll even throw in one of yours, Dave. Not Samurai, Dave. And say mustard and sauerkraut too. That's awesome too. But the hot dog onions would just notch it out. My number 2. Chili, but meat chili, just no beans, just meat chili. Ooh. and raw white onion. Mm-hmm. Meat chili and raw white onion.
No cheese. You're not going to go full.
No cheese, no mustard, just chili and raw white onion. That's it. Yeah, I love mustard. I'll eat mustard. I'll eat mustard on a spoon. I love mustard, but not on that hot dog. I want to taste the chili and the onions.
Got it.
That's it. Right. And my number one, we talked about Rutt's Hut. Okay. It's the Rutt's Hut Ripper. Okay. With the Rutt's Hut Relish.
Oh,
Oh.
nice.
That's too dark for a Ripper. You get a Weller?
Or go Weller.
You got a Weller.
Oh, Weller.
So here's the thing. Rutt's Hut, when you go to Rutt's Hut, the Ripper is what everyone knows.
Nice.
The Weller, they leave it in a little longer. Then if you're really brave,
It's been sitting here for 10 minutes. That's why I wanted to eat it.
you can ask for the incinerator.
Yep.
And the incinerator has different levels, so it really depends, because any dog that's just been sitting there for a while, they'll pull out. There's some incinerators that are just straight up charcoal briquettes.
Mhm.
And there's some incinerators that is taken the Ripper and brought it to the point where it has started to brown inside the rip.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the ones I like.
Right there.
I'm one of those people that likes like burnt toast
Oh,
and things like
Yeah,
that.
so do I, but the only thing about the incinerator, if you get the upper end of the scale,
Mhm.
it's going to turn to dust as you bite into it.
Right. If you can, because it sounds like you could also
It
potentially.
snaps off first.
oh.
And then just
Yeah, so you got to be careful. The first time I ordered incinerators, they were just exactly like I wanted them, but the second time I did, I really couldn't eat them.
Mm-hmm. Oh, sorry about that. I had to do that. I had to do that. We were doing that list. I had to do that.
Potensky,
I love it.
Potensky's
We
got
had-
to come.
Oh, hold on.
Put that up before he runs.
Before he was
He has to run like a Norwegian sprinter.
apparently.
Thanks, man. We'll see you soon.
He goes, yeah.
Yeah.
I have to run. I have to make it out to see Dave and Erin sometime soon. I'll try to bring some porter with me.
Yeah.
There you go.
There you go.
We would love to see you.
Love to see you, Matt.
There you go. Get out there.
Especially that pumpkin coffee porter.
There you go. Yeah, we're gonna have to work on that. Though the Rutt's Hut, it's had a little barbecue thing over the weekend. My father came down, and Matt said, "Cheers." Mhm. Cheers, Matt.
Cheers!
There you
If
go.
I have any beer left.
There you go. But he brought down whatchamacallit. Obviously, brought down some Thuman hot dogs, because I grew up in the Thuman's business, by the way. He brought down some Thuman's hot dogs, which are the hot dogs that they use at Rutt's Hut.
Yes, they are.
Right? And he stopped over at Rutt's Hut because he lives, and I grew up like 2 miles from Rutt's Hut, so I lived at Rutt's Hut basically. Right?
Nice.
Nice.
And he brought down a relish and some of the chili with him too. So I had it still in the fridge. I'm like, if we're doing that list tonight, I have to have one for my number one hot dog. So there you go.
Nice.
There you go.
Nice.
And that relish is something else.
There you go.
I'm not a massive fan of onions, so I don't slather that on because it's very oniony.
Yeah. Matt,
It's still great.
it is great. Matt, I love that. I could eat that relish from Rutt's Hut. It's a secret family recipe, by the way.
Oh.
They won't let that out. It's only for use in. I mean, Rutt's Hut's been open for over 100 years.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, actually, I can say that almost 100 years, 95 years now. So, like 1928, I think they opened. My father was a kid in the 40s, and he told me when he first started going there, they actually had velvet ropes and a maitre d'. To seat them. Yeah.
And here's the thing: so few people have actually eaten in the dining room.
Mm-hmm.
And if you eat in the dining room, be classy. Order the duck.
Order the duck, right? Yeah.
I'm not kidding. The duck is good.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's crazy what they have there. It's stupid, but
Nice.
Matt just put up this too. It's well, I'm not sure what this is, but we'll throw it up on the Facebook page.
Okay. So I know
Iceland Hotel Collection by Bergaria.
He's talking about the Icelandic hot dog.
Icelandic hot dog.
And you know that when I came back from Ireland, we stopped. We had a layover in Reykjavik, and they had one of the hot dog stands right in there. They like to put mayonnaise on their hot dogs, like a lot of Europe does.
Okay.
And what's really neat about a lot of these places is their condiments are in these things that look like udders that hang, and you just. If you're a big fan of Bourdain, he goes to Reykjavik. It's really pretty much a shit show while he's there, but it's worth watching his stop at the hot dog stand. And because as he said many times before, he loves any meat in tube form. And the weirder the toppings, the better. Is this the one that had like I think the crab salad on it or something like, or seafood salad?
No,
Yeah.
that's crab salad.
amazing.
It's got a crab salad, mayonnaise, ketchup, mustard.
Mhm.
It's a holy wreck, and we ran through the airport. They had one of the hot dog stands there, but I took a quick look at it, and it wasn't geared towards Icelanders, so you did not have those toppings at this hot dog stand.
Oh no!
It's in the airport because people are passing through that aren't Icelandic. So.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
they want the Icelandic hot dog without actually getting the
Oh
Icelandic.
man!
Right.
But it's really neat because they took one of their street stands and recreated it in the airport. It was actually that was cool about it, but it was kind of sad that they didn't go the full Monty out.
Well, yeah, right, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, if we're gonna know
So-
that one, that's
I had to open a fourth. We were talking about it, so
There you go.
Oh,
I love it.
Very nice.
had to
heartbreaking.
open it.
Hey, wait, she just said very nice, Dave.
Very nice.
Very nice. There you go.
So we use that term a lot on the show. In Italy, and there was a craft beer bar in Pordenone, which is also a hot hamburger place, believe it or not. This guy Fabio, and throughout the show, he kept saying "very nice."
We had him on the show. He did the show live from Italy, and Fabio, the owner of the manager of the place, was on it. So he must have said it about 40 times on the show. Very nice.
Very nice. I'm like, who are you, Borat? What the hell?
That's what it sounds
That's what
like.
it sounds like.
But no, that when we do that, we're not doing Borat. We're doing Fabio. Fabio will listen, he'll listen to the show every now and
Yeah,
then.
every now and then we'll get a comment from Fabio, and he's sitting. It's like 1 o'clock. The bar's closed.
And he's
sitting there,
trashed.
and he's trashed, and he's watching the show, and he comments in. So
Very
and
nice.
he'll say very nice on
Very
the
nice.
comment.
That's awesome.
And the best part is
That's awesome.
you look in their cooler for the bottle buys. There's Cantillon in their coolers.
You gotta love it.
Oh,
The Icelandic dog though is making me think of one that we didn't mention. Is the LA street dog, which I
Okay.
didn't know was a thing until there's a food truck like in the area. Shout out to Tacos Chicas. They're awesome.
Okay.
And they're usually stationed in Hope, New Jersey, like right off of exit 12 on Route 80.
Yep.
So
very quickly.
they sell out very quickly.
Now, and by the way, exit 12 on Route 80. If you need to get off exit 12 on Route 80 and you don't know where it is, you need to drive slow. Going west, obviously.
Yes.
You need to drive slow because you'll pass right by it. So
Yes.
It's like,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
right.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
right on the hill.
Yes.
My great aunt actually had a farm years ago, and that was the exit to get to her.
Uh-huh.
And you know where you're going, and you still pass it, right? Because it's right there.
Yeah,
So anyway,
yeah. It's you've been driving for so long without an exit that you're like, wait, oh, there was one.
Oh,
Yeah.
crap.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Turn
yeah,
back there.
they do Tacos Chicas does an LA street dog that's wrapped in bacon, like you were saying, and then they
Ooh.
put jalapenos and different Mexican spices. So kind of along the lines of like one of the Mexican street corn.
It's like a street corn
Oh,
dog.
a low
But
tech.
it's-
Street corn
yes,
dog,
except
yep.
it's a hot dog,
Yep.
and it's amazing.
Oh, God.
Not a street
12.
corn dog, a street corn dog. Right.
Yes,
Mine is the
precisely.
corn dog
Right.
part.
Right.
Right, it's a corn dog part. Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Wow.
Exactly.
That's
I like
awesome.
that.
Hot dog chicas and the right off exit 12 on 80.
Tacos
Tacos
Chicas.
Chicas.
Taco chicas, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, their food's amazing. They're street tacos. They're like El Pastor, things like
Oh,
that.
I love that.
They're pretty
Yeah.
great.
Oh,
Amazing.
I see a theme here. Dave, do you like pineapple?
Maybe you do.
Do you,
I
wait a second. Wait a second. Here's the important question. Do you put it on pizza?
Oh, I love Hawaiian pizza.
That is like one of the most divisive
yeah.
conversations out there. Pineapple on pizza or not pineapple on pizza? I saw a pizza where people put kiwi on it and said like pineapple
Whoa.
or don't like pineapple. People who like pineapple, people that don't like pineapple pizza, we have a common enemy now.
This is
Yeah, we do. We have a common enemy.
This
Who
is-
puts kiwi on a pizza?
this is kind of like Kramer on Seinfeld when he was at the stand. You don't put cucumber on the pizza. No, you don't put cucumber on the pizza. Like Poppy did not like that. And yeah,
Poppy did not like
No,
that.
Poppy did not.
did not like it. Kramer apparently liked it, but
No cucumber on the pizza.
Pineapple on the pizza, I'm pro.
Best. You got to try this. You got to try this. Ready? And this was the Jersey Sunset at 381, Dave. You remember? Pineapple, pepperoni,
and
sun-dried tomato, and fresh basil.
Ooh.
That almost sounds good.
Yeah.
Actually, my
pineapple.
my favorite usage of pineapple on a pizza: pineapple, bacon, jalapeno.
Ooh, okay.
I would like that.
That right there, I
Yes,
think, is the
but
winner.
any-
Fresh mozzarella and a
you know,
little
bacon.
basil. I'm good to go.
There you work it, work that.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah. So you guys, what do you events wise next year? What do you plan on doing? Even out of house or just even in house? What do you have coming up?
Yeah, so we have quite a few off-premise events coming up. Dave is going to be over in Boonton for the Boonton Beer Fest next week.
Nice.
We did that last year. It was a good time, so we're doing it again.
That's next week.
Yeah.
Oh, this weekend.
This weekend, yeah.
We're gonna be in Asbury for the Squeeze concert.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
Yeah. So
Johnny, you were supposed to go to that. Did you get your tickets?
I did not. I did not because I have to do something Saturday night, which I'll tell you guys afterwards.
Okay. Yeah, so we're doing that. We'll also, I'm trying to think of the other off-premise things we're doing.
We have Westfield Hops.
We'll be, at Westfield Hops.
In November. That's in November.
In November, yeah. And before that, we'll also be, we do a few regular, pouring events at Von Thune Farms, which is in Washington. They have a location in New Brunswick too. But the Washington location is just down the road from us. So we'll be there a couple more weekends
Columbus
with them.
Day weekend.
Yeah.
Fall Fest.
Very nice.
And then we'll also be in Blairstown with, I believe, Tacos Ticas for the Blairstown Fall Fest.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
Which is Blairstown Fall Fest. If you've never been, you have to go. They do bed racing.
Which we will have a bed.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Yes.
When is it?
It's called bed racing, and it is exactly what the name is. So
is it down the hill
Yes.
on Main Street?
No, it's on the hill.
It's on a hill, not that one.
Oh, not that one. Okay.
It's like a walking path.
Yeah. But you have
Okay.
to. So the idea of a bed race is you come up with a bed frame, so like of a legit 4-poster bed, and you decorate it in different ways.
On wheels.
Yep. It's on wheels. And
Better
then,
be.
and then the race itself is everyone runs down the
You have
hill.
four
You have
people
one person on the bed, 4 people on either side.
pushing and running.
Yeah, and then when you get to the end of the raceway, the person on the bed has to jump off, ring a bell, and then get back on, and then you have to push them again.
Yeah.
So this is dating back to the 1800s that this was a thing. And people at first hear about it and they're like, "That's so weird," but no, it's really fun.
I used to work in Blairsville at the Scout Camp and never heard of this.
Yeah, it's.
So I've been to the BI. I've gotten rather trashed at the BI.
Wait, Blairsville or Buttstown?
Blairstown.
Blairstown County.
Yeah.
Blairsville, right?
Blairstown.
Blairstown.
Yep.
But I've gotten so damn drunk at the BI.
Nice. Yeah. Yeah.
It's easy to get really drunk there because there's nothing else to do in Blairstown.
When is there's not a lot, but where's the when is the
October
this
14th?
October 14th.
Yeah, so we'll be
14th.
pouring there, but we will also have a bed, and we are currently assembling a team that will be doing the bed race.
Yeah,
which
yeah.
I 100%.
But anybody can enter that.
Yep.
So if anybody else is that's weird, I want to do it. Just
you getting some Norwegian sprinters in there?
Right,
There you go.
exactly.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Are you going to get any Norwegian sprinklers in there?
No, you get all the bedding wet. Why would you do
That's
that?
true. That's true.
Yeah, we don't want to wet the bed.
No wetting the bed. That's a bad thing. No wetting the bed.
No. I a couple of years ago, I got over that phase.
Yeah. A couple of years ago.
In terms of in-house events, we'll be doing our Oktoberfest on October 7th. So that's always a good time. We have Robbie Lawrence and the Steelworkers, which is a Pennsylvania polka band coming.
Damn,
and then
I'll be seeing Stapleton that week. And I'm not a country western fan, but at any rate.
Who was it? What whose group was it that did Polka Polka Polka?
Oh, that was in
um,
that's your thing.
Wait. Home Alone.
It's in Home Alone with
Home Alone.
John Candy.
John
Oh.
Candy. Yeah. John Candy's polka band. She was driving them home
Yes.
in the truck. Yeah.
Getting
So-
the name of that band. That's
It was Gus Polinski
Yeah.
and
Yes,
the Kenosha
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 polka.
Cutters or Kenosha
Kickers.
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 Kenosha
Kenosha
Kickers.
Kickers.
Yeah.
There you go.
Well, as soon as you said what the bet, I was going to go 4. Go easy on the Pepsi.
Which brings us back around to the whole cheese pizza just for me. too.
Yes.
Exactly.
I'll see. I'm thinking about 7-8 Dr. Peppers.
Nice.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, that's Forrest.
That says, yeah, it is. So,
Um,
all right. That is the 14th. That might actually be doable. I might have to come up.
Yeah,
with that.
I just
might have to
you saw it.
keep
I wrote on my calendar because that is one weekend we don't have something
It's-
already penciled. in.
I'm shocked that you're going to see. Who are you going to see that?
Well, seeing Chris Stapleton. The reason we're going is because,
I mean, fine.
but the
Yeah,
reason
but
we're going.
I'm shocked you
is-
are actually.
Well, Margot. I can't remember her last name. There's a country
Kidder?
western- not Margot Kidder or Margot Robbie.
Not Robbie.
She's busy hyping up Barbie still. She
That's true.
doesn't need to be hyped at all.
Nah,
anymore.
doesn't no hype for that.
But she is a country western artist from Nashville, and I first came across her bringing up Bourdain again on his show, and she is actually in this day and age. Margot Price is her name,
Margot Price.
Oh,
and
I've heard of her.
yeah, and if you're a fan of true country, not this everything turned out right, everything's hunky dory country
Yeah.
pop that's out there now, but everything's heartbreak. You know, my girlfriend ran off with my dog, and I miss that dog kind of story. Margot Price that's old school country. She is phenomenal. She's one of the opening acts. It's the main reason we're going. Don't get me wrong. I love Stapleton too. He's country blues. He's got nice blues to him.
He's very busy. Yes.
I
Yeah.
like him in the
No
Steel
re-
Drivers.
What's that?
The Steel Drivers. He's
Oh yeah.
in that. I like him in that.
No
Yeah.
relation to Gene Stapleton.
No relation.
No.
Oh, Archie.
Archie.
But he so yes, Chris is great, but we're going to see Margot Price pretty much, and she's one of the
Nice.
opening acts. And I mean, you've even got the guy with the top of the Coke bottle on his finger on a slide guitar.
There you go.
This is some old school country stuff. So that's what I grew up.
I'm not going to that, so I might actually venture up to.
You should do it.
To
Their
to Blairstown
Oktoberfest.
on that. Yeah,
It's gonna
exactly.
be-
No, Blairstown's the weekend after.
Blair-
It's their Oktoberfest on the 7th. That's Stapleton's.
Mm.
Oh, I was talking about the 14th. I was talking.
Yeah,
about
the 14th. No, I can make the 14th. I
Okay.
just wrote it on my calendar.
All right, fair
Nice.
enough.
Nice.
Nice.
There you go. Fair enough.
Maybe we'll hit the winery up there first, and then
Brook Hollow.
Brook
Yeah.
Hollow.
oh god, they got a really great Shepardson there, and I love the Shepardson style.
And I still have the port sitting right here on my because we had a port.
Oh,
very
very
nice.
The interesting thing about I don't know how much you know. You earlier you talked about liking wine, and I don't know how much you know about Champerson. Champerson was a French style.
Yes.
Clippings were brought over into this country, and they really do well in the Delaware Valley.
Mhm.
In World War II, the Champerson vines were destroyed. And it became not a style in France. And from what I hear, France is now trying to get clippings from the U.S. to reintroduce it to their terroir.
Interesting.
That's so interesting.
I never knew
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, so Champerson is an American style taken from the French that was destroyed in France and is now just here. Brook Hollow makes a great one.
They do.
Yeah.
There's another one south, a little further south of them. Beneduce does a great Champerson.
Alba does a pretty good Champerson too.
Alba, I haven't had them.
Yeah.
Great.
But my favorite is Glengallon Champerson. They're out of Bucks County. Phenomenal.
Nice.
enough.
Nice.
Yes, very nice. Cool. All right. Well, this has turned into the wine podcast now.
Yeah, we're not just all about beer.
We don't discriminate.
Exactly.
We do whiskey, we do tequila, we do John does gin.
Yes,
Oh, I love gin.
John does
Gin, I'm bourbon.
Gin is my favorite.
Well,
Bourbon.
I'm both, I'm gin from April to October. I'm bourbon from October to April. So.
And take that bourbon in those times, but replaces gin with tequila for me.
There you go.
Okay.
And vodka because I am Polish.
He is.
It's the law. It's the law.
It's the law. That's the law. All right.
Potensky would back me up on that.
He would. All right. Anything you guys want to say before we wrap up the show? To let anybody know what's
any songs you want to sing? Do a duet.
Anyway, yeah.
I mean, we could.
Islands in the stream. No.
I got you, babe.
I got you, babe. Nothing.
Yeah.
No.
I don't think so. If anybody is out of the area and you haven't been out this way, there's a lot of good hiking, a lot of good cycling. It's
Great hiking.
Yes.
Yeah.
Amazing beer. I mean, Buttzville. You can come to the area. You got Buttzville. You go up to Hackettstown, and you got Joe at Manskirt. You got Zig, Matt over at Zig. You drive a little bit.
Over in
you Chuck. I mean, he says Hackettstown, but it's Bud Lake. It's Mount Olive. It's right. But
and then get up to Angry Eric's not too far.
Up to Angry Eric's there, and
or Chilton Mills and
Chilton Mills right in Long Valley, and go see those guys. But yeah, there's a lot of good beer, a lot of good hiking, a lot of good food in the area too.
Yes.
I mean,
that reminds me, where you are, the main street you are. Best place to eat there.
Right now, we would have to. I think I speak for both of us when I say Ohana. It's a new place that just opened up. It's a Hawaiian grill.
Oh wow!
They do poke bowls, and they do hibachi and different grills stuff.
Dave, when do you want to go? We get.
Wait a second. One question: do they do the spam omagiri?
Yes.
Oh, love it.
It's so good.
They do masubi.
So,
that is my favorite thing right there.
Yes, it's
So
amazing.
good.
Oh, I love that. I love that.
So
and Johnny, if you've never had it,
I haven't.
Go.
I've had it.
So good.
So omagiri is
pick a Saturday. We're going out there.
It's rice something with seaweed.
We'll bring Matt. We'll bring Matt for laughs. No, I'm kidding.
They're
We'll bring
like-
Matt. We'll all go. We'll laugh it. No, it'll be good.
You take the rice.
We'll bring
Matt
Gene
probably-
for laughs. There you go.
know Matt's had this. It's rice.
I'm sure he has. Yeah.
Egg and spam
Yeah.
with a seaweed wrap around it, and
That's
that is
awesome.
one of the best
Yeah.
things you'll ever put in your
Yes,
face.
so good.
Ohana.
I'll
And
do that.
Ohana means
Right
family,
next door to us.
right?
That's
Ohana
good,
means family.
Ohana means family, and family
Yes.
means never being left behind.
Oh, Lilo. And
There you
Stitch.
go.
Welcome to the Disney Hour.
We've changed gears a lot in the last 10 minutes.
Minutes, 10 seconds. I think
10 seconds,
we've
yeah.
changed here 5 times.
So we'll definitely get out there. All right. Well, let's wrap up the show on that note. Don't go anywhere because we'll talk to you a couple minutes after we sign off. But I want to personally thank both of you for coming on. It's been an amazing show. It's a great show. Great show. I mean, I could sit here for another hour and talk, but
John's hungry.
Well, not only that, but we've already, we're over 2 hours at this point. So
It's not often we go over 2 hours.
and it's not that often we go over 2 hours. So yeah, it's an awesome show. So thank you so much for coming on. We'll wrap the show up on that note for today. We want to thank everybody for watching. And for those of you just listening to the audio podcast, thank you for listening. Don't forget to visit our website, www.lagerroom.com. That's LAGERROOM.com. And please remember, like us and follow us on all of our social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and of course, our YouTube channel. All of them are at The Lager Room. Remember, we go live with a video podcast on both Facebook and YouTube every Tuesday night around 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And for those of you who just want to listen to the audio podcast, you can do so on our brand new host, Spreaker, as well as Apple Podcasts, Spotify, TuneIn, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music Podcasts, iHeartRadio, CastBox, Deezer, Podcast Addict, Podchaser, pretty much anywhere where you can get a feed, you can find our podcast. So,
except for Stitcher, because
I didn't mention Stitcher.
because you
Stitcher's
did.
done.
I was going to be critical.
Stitcher's done.
But Stitcher has folded.
Stitcher folded on August 31st, so we lost one. But we lost
Cheers
one.
to them.
But cheers to Stitcher. Yeah, there you go. But pretty much anywhere you can get an audio podcast feed, we're there. And if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to one or more of any of those feeds, and you will never miss a show. Again, thanks for following along with us. Have a great rest of your week. Have a wonderful weekend. Guys, once again, Erin, Dave, thank you so much for coming on. We appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. We really appreciate it. Thank you so much. It's been awesome. Drink a lot of beer, but drink responsibly, and we will talk to you soon, folks. Take care. Cheers.
Cheers.
They found him face down in his waffles, maple syrup dripping from his fake rub. Who did he see when he heard who was there? Now it seems that he shit out of love.